My name is Alexander Ziri, and I am the head of product here at London Real, and I would like to welcome you to tonight's masterclass, Master Your Diet, Fitness, and Health. Tonight will be all about how to become a high-performance person and crush your goals. You probably want to eat better. You want to move more. You want to release stress and ultimately become a higher version of yourself, a better version of yourself. That is what tonight's masterclass is all about. We'll be going over 3 major practices that Brian used to overcome and win, or at least claim the victory at the Ironman. Step 1, download the workbook. There's a link right above your chat, and you can download a nice workbook for tonight. And then secondly, it will not be me presenting tonight's masterclass, but I will be introducing to you to tonight's host and speaker. He is the founder of London Real, a personal project that has grown into a highly respected media company where he interviews the most fascinating people on the planet, bring out their truth, and share it with an audience who want to build a better version of themselves. He has had over 400 amazing guests on the show, including Ido Portal, Jocko Willink, Dan Pena, Dorian Yates, Wim Hof, Tim Ferriss, Graham Hancock, Gary Vee, Alex Icahn, Simon Sinek, Elliot Hulse, and the list just goes on and on. What was first an idea has now grown into a global phenomenon that has impacted millions of people. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the one and only, Mr. Brian Rose. Oh, yes!
Mr. Ziri, thank you so much. As usual, an incredible introduction. I want you to follow me around every single day and just do that before I go into the coffee shop and that kind of thing. So, no, it's amazing. I always get reminded everything we've done here over the past 7 years, you know? Over 400 guests, hanging out and making movies with people like Ido Portal and Dorian Yates and Dan Pena, the $50 billion man. And I love broadcasting, but what I love more is actually teaching people. Whether it's on these master classes or inside London Real Academy with the thousands of students that we've changed their lives, I love teaching this stuff, and I've learned from the best right in here. And I happen to find this thing here. It's a medal. It's my Ironman medal that was actually put around my neck 10 days ago in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm going to be talking about that tonight. I finished in under 6 hours, not to brag, at 47 years old.
It's okay.
On a plant-based diet on a 90-degree day. It was hell, but I trained, and I actually used the same diet principles I'm going to teach tonight. I used the movement principles I'm going to teach tonight, and I even used some of the meditation principles I'm going to teach tonight. So if it worked for my 47-year-old butt, it should work for anyone out there, and I believe that the body is the mind. If you don't have a good body, I don't think you're ever going to get anywhere far. All the high-performance people that sat in this chair here at London Real World Headquarters, they have their body taken care of, which is how they're able to soar to great heights. So that's what I'm teaching tonight, and I'm pumped to do this. Yes?
I love it.
All right, I'm going to get started. Yeah?
Have fun. Good
Cool.
luck.
Thank you, Mr. Ziri. Welcome to tonight's masterclass, How to Crush Your Diet, Fitness, and Health. I'm Brian Rose, of course. We're here at London Real World Headquarters, and this is a special Ironed Mind edition. Please type yes if you've been following our Iron Mind series. We've done 9 episodes. Episode 10 is actually dropping tomorrow here on Friday. Type in no if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's this series that's followed me for the last 3 months as I've trained for my very first endurance race ever on a 100% plant-based diet at 47 years old. It's been an incredible journey, and tonight I want to drop some secrets, some tips, and some principles that got me this medal. It was a really hard day. It was crazy in Chattanooga, Tennessee at 90 degrees, but I got through it with a lot of mind principles and a lot of physical, body, and diet and health principles. And I really want to share them tonight. I'm super excited to be here with you. So let's talk about some of the things that we're going to be talking about. I want to introduce to you my movements and eating practices that I do every single day, and I've learned from some of the best in the business, but it wasn't always that way. So I want to get into it, but first, tell me, who are you? Where are you from? If you can type that in the chat, what city are you from? Are you from America, from Europe, here in the UK? We got people in South America, in Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Type that in, and also type in, what is that fitness or health goal that for 2018 that you still want to handle? Do you want to lose that extra 20 pounds? Do you want to get ripped or shredded? Do you want your body just to move so you can play with your kids or go climbing? What do you really want? Do you want to get healthy? Do you want to stop being depressed? Maybe get a proper diet, stop eating fast food or bad food, maybe go plant-based and go vegan, or just cut out the sugars and the gluten and all that garbage. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. So type in where you're from, the city, and your goals for this year when it comes to health and fitness. This is interactive, so I'm going to go here and start talking to you. And tonight, we are really going to get busy with 3 actionable items. I'm going to get you out of that chair. I'm going to be bouncing around. You can't wait. I'm going to be screaming and breathing. I got a lot of cool stuff for you tonight. But first, eliminate all of your distractions, and I'm going to do it too. Take that mobile device that you've got right now, I'm going to do it with you, and go in there and put it on airplane mode, right? No more buzzing and beeping, no more Instagram notifications from London Real or YouTube notifications. This thing is dangerous. It's a drug. Shut it off right now. Go to that browser if you're watching me on a laptop or a desktop. Close all those tubes. So close the YouTube, close the Facebook, even close the londonreal.tv site, and close whatever else you're watching in your spare time. It's none of my business, but shut it down. I need 30 or 40 minutes of your time. Throw the dog out. Tell the wife, the husband, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the kids that you are going to be hanging out with Brian Rose for the next 40 minutes. Shut it down. I need you to really not be distracted. I'm going to spend the next hour with you, so please don't waste my time and give me your focus, and you're going to get a ton out of this. This could change your life tonight if you pay attention. So let's get started. For showing up here tonight, I want to give you the Ido Portal Success Secrets. It's a 6-minute video that's never been seen by anyone except people inside my academy, and it's Ido talking about how he is successful. There's a link to that. Don't watch it now. Watch it afterwards once we get through all this stuff. I've also got a second show up bonus. It's a special piece of video that was filmed at a private event at London Real World headquarters. It actually sells for $1,000, and it's a whole mindset video, and it's to teach you about your relationship with money. A lot of people, you might know some of them, and you might be one of them. Even when you make money, you lose it. You spend it on stupid things. You frivolously get rid of it. And it's because you have a bad relationship with money. And I've got a special show-up bonus video that I'm going to share with you at the end. Again, it's worth $1,000, and it's Phil McKernan, Your Relationship with Money. Stay around for that, and I'll give you that as well. And so there you go. And at the end of this entire masterclass, I want to share with you a very special opportunity that's only happening tonight while we're still on the call. It's actually pretty exciting, so that's going to happen tonight. Let me put this mobile device, because it's now no longer functional, away. Tonight I'm going to share with you 3 things. The first is the London Real Eating Quadrant. This is not a diet, it's an eating philosophy that I've developed over the past 5 years, and it got me across the finish line at my very first Ironman race. I got shredded down to 73 kilograms, 8% body fat, and yet I still went for 6 hours nonstop in the 90-degree heat. I'm going to show you this quadrant. It's a philosophy, and it will change your life. I've changed over 1,000 people with the same quadrant. That's going to be amazing. Secondly, I'm going to show you one of the basic movement principles in the world that was taught to me by Ido Portal, the movement specialist. It's called the spinal wave. I do it every single morning here at London Real Studios with our entire team, and I'm going to show it to you. It's incredible, and it's the basis of all movement. Very, very important. And thirdly, I'm going to teach you Active Meditation by Mr. Elliot Hulse. It's incredible. It's a great way to release energy, release emotion through your body, and you see me doing this because I'm going to be bouncing around and jumping around and breathing. I do this every weekend in Hampstead Heath here in London. You might see me doing it. I get loud. I've almost been arrested for doing it. I do this at all of our live events for our Academy members. It's an incredible tool you can use the rest of your life. So that's what we're doing tonight. This stuff is really going to ground you, start you on a new adventure in your life. And let's talk about this. Why are you here tonight? Why did you decide to spend the time with me for the next 30 or 40 minutes? Well, it's probably because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm talking about. And maybe this has happened in the last year, or maybe in the last 5 years. Your body just isn't what it used to be. You can't jump out of bed in the morning and feel amazing. You can't go ahead and climb a wall or climb a mountain or get down there and do 50 push-ups like you used to. You can't play with your kids or your grandkids. You go to the gym and you just get tired. Maybe you're depressed. You find yourself watching Netflix and YouTube all the time. Maybe you're just making poor diet choices. McDonald's, KFC, Coca-Cola, fruity drinks. You just feel sick, bloated. Maybe you have brain fog and you don't know how to snap out of it. You know what to do. You know you should try going plant-based or gluten-free or sugar-free, but you can't do it. You've got the gym membership, but you've never used it. You go to the gym, you go on the treadmill, and you get bored. Well, that's what I'm talking about. And you know that it's keeping you from doing great things in your life, like finding your passion, turning it into a business, finding your purpose, maybe meeting that great relationship that's going to change your life. But you just can't get out of bed. You look at yourself in the mirror and you want to turn away. You're not proud of your body. You're not proud of yourself. Well, you're in the right place because I want to address those issues. And by addressing the body, the mind will follow, and you'll find that you're all of a sudden have self-esteem. You have great successes in your life. And every single person that's ever sat in the London Real chair here in the studio, they are people that have sorted out their body, and that's how their brains can perform. Whether it's Ido Portal or Dorian Yates or even Dan Pena, they've all got this handled, and that's why they're high-performance people, and that's why I want to teach you tonight. Sure, if you take on these principles, you will probably lose 15 to 20 pounds in the first 4 weeks, but that's not why I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you because it's a means to a greater end of just engaging with the world, finding your purpose, adding value back to the world. That's what it's all about here at London Real. The six-pack is just a benefit of getting your brain on the right track. And you know, today I had to take my shirt off at the gym and I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know what, for 47 years old, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm super functional, I'm lean and mean, and I just finished the damn Ironman race. So I'm on fire and I'm gonna probably keep doing this stuff for the next 40 years, and I wanna show you how. But before we get into the chat, again, tell me, what city are you from and what's that one fitness goal you want to get into? But quickly, just a little bit about me. You might be like, who is this guy with the medal wearing this waistcoat, as we say here in London? Well, my name's Brian Rose. I'm the founder and host of London Real. 7 years ago, I walked away from a job in banking. Yes, it's true. I'm actually American from California, but I came here to London in 2002 to be the greatest greedy banker that ever lived. And let me be honest, I got real good at it. And I was in banking in 2011 making millions, but I realized one day when I looked in the mirror, I was actually depressed, I had no friends, I was drinking myself to death, and I was just really unhappy with the whole world and with myself. And I walked away and started London Real, and I started having great conversations with great people, started adding value back to the world, and my life started to change. But my body was still a mess. I trained and I did jujitsu, but it was not functional. I was eating the wrong things, I was drinking too much, and I didn't know what to do. But slowly I started learning from some of the greats in the world, what to eat, how to move, active meditation from people like Ido Portal, Dorian Yates, Elliot Hulse, and I started learning more and more and more, and I started adopting these philosophies, and it changed my life. And it turned me into a super happy person, a high performance person. It's allowed me to build a multi-million-dollar business, to make documentary movies every year, to reach 100 million people on this planet. We're going to be touching 1 billion in the next 3 years. It's crazy the kind of things we can do, but it's because I treat my body very good every single day without exception. And be honest, it's easy. I make good choices because it feels good and it's part of who I am right now. And that's what I want to teach you tonight. You can really take this stuff and use it even tonight, if not tomorrow. And the result is that I come home every night to my 2 beautiful boys, my stepdaughter Gabby and Mariana, and I see them and they can see in me that I'm now happy, that I'm now someone I want to be. And you might be seeing a picture right here of me and my family and just kind of see, but this is how I look when I come home, and this is really what's going on with me at home. And I wouldn't be this way unless I had this physical practice. And so I want to go right now and check to see where you are or who you're from. But before we do that, let me just do one quick exercise with you. And I like doing this. I'm actually from California, so I'm a little crunchy and a little weird when it comes to this kinds of things. But I believe that everything in life begins with a thought, and then comes the action. So do me a favor and close your eyes right now. Go ahead, close them. I know it's a little weird, but I'm going to close my eyes, and I can actually see you right now through Google technology. So close your eyes, I can see you, and just visualize the future for me. All right, just take a second. and think into the future and look at yourself 6 months from now, right? You're waking up in the morning, you put your feet on the outside of the bed and you jump out of bed, and wow, all of a sudden you have a body with no aches and no pains. Your knees don't hurt, your hips don't hurt. You stand up and you're like, wow, I feel really rested. I feel really strong. I'm excited to go take on the world. You go into the bathroom mirror to brush your teeth and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, am I looking at a fitness magazine? I look amazing. I'm how old? I'm 35, I'm 45, I'm 55, I'm 65, and I still look ripped. I've got abs. I've got a body that looks like I could go climb a tree. I could go climb a mountain. I could go do a lizard walk across the ground. Wow, I feel amazing. You go downstairs, you've got incredible energy, you make the right diet choices in the morning, you have a really healthy meal, drink something that gives you energy but it's not relying on sugar or caffeine, and you go out into the world. Again, you've got incredible energy, you've got great stamina, you go to work and people are like, how are you doing this? And you're like, this is just who I am now because of the choices I made. You go for your daily movement practice around noon or 2 o'clock. You do lizard walks, you do yoga, you do spinal waves, you do active meditation, you do breakdancing, dancing, tai chi, salsa, jiu-jitsu, boxing, whatever. It's part of your routine and you don't miss a day because it makes you feel great. Afterward, you go make a great diet choice. You walk past McDonald's. You walk past the Mountain Dew and Coca-Cola and you eat something that's maybe plant-based, something that gives you energy, and it's easy to make that choice. You go back to your incredible job, you live your passion, you're adding value to the world. This is your new reality. People will remark that they don't even recognize you anymore, that you look great, that they can't believe this new person that you've become. And you can open your eyes now, but that's the reality that I'm talking about, and this can be you. No more spending 4 hours on the sofa watching TV, feeling depressed about yourself, losing your self-esteem. I'm talking about being active every day, eating the right things, and having the emotions that go alongside with a great body. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So, as promised, let me meet some of you guys. If you're coming late, go into the chat right now and tell me what city are you from and what's that big challenge you're happening in your fitness and your health that you want to solve this year. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to have a movement practice. Who knows? And of course, joining me is Julian Bales, our head of strategy here, looking pretty fit himself. And just want to know, what are you seeing here from the people? You know, I always say, because I'm quoting the greats here at London Real, that the body is the mind. And people, a lot of times in this world, we think, oh, it's all about the brain. Let me get my goals right. Let me get my money right. But they forget about the body. And sooner or later, it fails them, right? They get the injury. They get listless. They get brain fog. They get depression. And I've learned from Ido Portal, from Dorian Yates, when you go into the body is where you get your strength. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. What's the crowd out there like? And what are people saying out there in the world?
Great crowd here tonight, Mr. Rose.
Awesome.
We have people from all over the world. We have Roberto in Scotland.
Okay.
We have William in the US, Rad in Staten Island, Michael in Kiev, Ukraine.
Wow.
Jiwan in Pokhara, Nepal.
Nepal. Wow. All right.
Max in Mexico, Michael in San Jose, California, Joe in Houston, Arnaldo in Brazil, David in Vancouver, and Vajka in Bosnia.
Oh my gosh, Bosnia, Nepal, Brazil, America, Scotland, Kiev in Ukraine. Oh my gosh, look, I would say I was surprised, but this is pretty standard practice for us here at London Real. Inside our academy, we regularly have people from 35, 40 countries on our calls, 14 time zones. There's usually a Kiwi there down in New Zealand at 4 in the morning they stay up to. People really do interact, and that's why we're so strong inside the academy, because we have an international flavor, lots of different ideas and opinions, and I believe life is about exchanging ideas and going to the next level. So this is amazing. I love the energy. We're going to get busy and have a lot of fun tonight. What are some people saying about challenges they're having in their life right now? You know, issues with fitness and goals. What are people saying?
A lot of people coming back saying that they want to make smarter diet choices, drop that body fat, get ripped. We've got James here says he wants to get ripped and shredded.
Yeah.
Michael wants visible abs. Max is saying fat loss. Stuart is saying he wants to lose 10 kilograms and move better for rugby as well.
Yeah, look, these are all great choices. And I do think that the body is a lagging indicator of the mind. And if you look at your body, it's just like, okay, it's showing you who you are. And if you get that mind honed and disciplined, then you will see the fat drop off and the abs come out, because they always say abs are made in the kitchen, right? This is a classic thing, and you always see this as a lagging indicator. And it's a really interesting thing to monitor, and that's really what we want to talk about tonight. You know, I was actually seeing like an osteopath chiropractor today, and right in the middle of the consultation, he said, take your shirt off. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go. And he was checking me out, and he's like, what are you, 8% body fat? And I'm like, well, I just finished the Ironman. It's probably something like that. And he's like, all right, how old are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm 47. And he's like, all right, cool. So it's just like you want to be ready to do that if you have to do it. You want to be able to move how you want to move. You want to be able to hit the beach any time of the year. Our friends in Brazil, they got to have that six-pack in December. I've been there, brother. And you know, you want to be able to do that all the time. And I think you can maintain that. And I want to teach you an eating philosophy that's not hard. Like, I don't crave those horrible foods, because when I see a Snickers bar or a pint of ice cream, I just think, okay, my stomach's gonna hurt, I'm not gonna feel good, I'm gonna get the brain fog. When I see that dal, that spinach, you know, salad, I'm thinking, yeah, give me some of that, because it's gonna take me to the next level. So I understand these thoughts from people, and I wanna jump in right now and talk about it. So should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So let's do this. Look, tonight I've got 3 actionable items I want to teach you. This is all about getting results right away. And let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the big fat elephant in the room. It used to be 800 pounds. Now it's 1,000, because we've been sitting around making bad diet choices, watching YouTube all the time on the mobile phone. It doesn't help. And so we're going to talk about movement shortly, but let's talk about eating. You know, I've had so many incredible guests on recently, like Dr. Michael Greger, all sorts of different people that basically say what we've known for a long time. You are what you eat. And Dr. Michael Greger said, Brian, he has a book called How Not to Die. And he says these are the 10 things you can die from: cancer, lung cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and it all comes down to what you put in your mouth. It's all about that choice, which we don't think much about. Oh, I'll have the KFC. Oh, I'll have the Coca-Cola. Oh, I'll have the ice cream, the this and the that. These things are not only killing us, they're affecting our relationships, our businesses, our energy levels. They're actually affecting the quality of our life. And that's what I really want to talk about tonight, but not just for the six-pack. It actually gives you brain fog. It gives you bad energy. It gives you bad sleep patterns, which means you can't get that business going. You don't know why other people are so successful. You can't find that person to fall in love with you. You just don't know why, because you're not on your game and your body is just not serving you. It changes everything in your life. Impact, relationships, quality, everything. It all comes down to what you put in your mouth. And so I look at eating as far as an eating philosophy. And my intelligence came over time. And the reason this is so important is the statistics say that in the UK alone, 26% of the population are obese. That means not just fat and overweight, that means 20% overweight. In the US, it's 36.5% of Americans. I mean, that's ridiculous. And how are you going to perform if you're lagging around all of that fat? Your posture's low. Your self-esteem is garbage. I mean, that just isn't going to work. It leads to heart disease, diabetes. I've had friends of mine who no longer have feeling in their feet because of their diabetes. I've got relatives in America who suffer from these problems. This is real, folks. It's time to take action now, not just because of how you look in the mirror, but because you're going to die early, you're not going to meet your grandkids, and it's just going to all end really bad. So let's make some choices now. And let's start doing things that we know we have to do, which is avoiding sugar, concentrated calories, and making the right decisions, which I want to talk about tonight. But let me talk about my journey, and then I want to share with you the London Real Eating Quadrant and our entire philosophy here inside the Academy. I started London Real. And again, when I was in the city, I had bad choices. I used to go out for big steak dinners. I used to drink every day of the week. I used to have gluten and sugars. I used to train a lot in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, but I still wasn't making the right choices until I went to drink the plant medicine ayahuasca. And when I had to do that, I started on something called the dieta, which is a 10 to 14-day diet. And in that diet, in order to drink the plant medicine, I had to do no oils, no meats, no sugars, no gluten, no nothing. And I really had to strip my diet back. It was really hard. No alcohol, no cigarettes, no nothing. I had to strip it all back. And I found that when I did it, it was kind of hard at first. But after I did the ceremony, I thought to myself, why go back? Why go eat a pork product? Why go eat something with gluten? Why eat this stuff? And so I started learning that my belly felt better and I felt better when I made these very simple diet choices. And so I started thinking about it and started playing with things. Let's leave out the sugar. Let's leave out the gluten. Let's try not eating for a while, right? When you do the ayahuasca, you actually don't eat for about 24 hours before you drink. And I started playing with this stuff, and I came up with the London Real Eating Quadrant. And I want to share it with you now. So let's go to my board. I love going ahead and drawing this stuff out for you because it's a great way to graphically show you. All right, and so this is our own technology here at London Real. All right, and it's something that I'm going to share with you tonight, and you can use it for the rest of your life. I'm not about counting calories. I'm not about weighing food. I'm just about having a philosophy and knowing what you put in your body and making some rules as you choose every single day. All right, and so this is the London Real Eating Quadrant, and I like it because it's simple. If it's simple, it works. And that's something you can engage in every single day. And when you see a food type, you'll know right away what it is. And the quadrant has some simple letters. It's got a G here, it's got an S here, it's got an F here, and it's got a V here. And so I'm going to take you through 7 days of my eating and how I play with this quadrant. And so again, I'll go through you later, but I'll just go ahead and talk to you. This is my Monday, my Tuesday, my Wednesday, my Thursday, my Friday, my Saturday, and my Sunday. And I want to talk to you about your own choices and what you can make on these days. So what is the quadrant? Well, the quadrant is simply this. It's 4 different types of foods or eating that you can play with in your diet and see how you perform. And I'm going to go through them right now. The first one is G for gluten. All right, a lot of people talk about gluten these days. Okay, I should have gluten or I shouldn't have gluten. Oh, it only affects you if you have that celiac disease where you actually have an allergy to it, etc. And look, gluten itself, I'm not saying is a bad thing, but it's like that bad kid in school. He hangs out with all the other bad kids and they end up doing bad things. And I find that when I avoid gluten, I avoid a lot of other foods that don't help me with my diet. When I avoid gluten, I avoid pizza. When I avoid gluten, I avoid muffins and cookies and cakes and all of these other things that end up combining with foods that make me gain weight. It gives me inflammation, and it also makes me ingest sugar and all sorts of calories that I don't want. And so what I like to play with in the first quadrant is I take a day like Monday, or for you tomorrow it'll be Friday, and I decide to say I'm going to spend Monday not inside this quadrant. And it's going to be a G day. A gluten-free day. And the funny thing is when you avoid gluten, you actually avoid about 90% of the foods served at restaurants and in stores and anything out there. And I believe that about 95% of the population eats the wrong things. So right away, it strips away a lot of the choices you have. No pizzas, no sandwiches, no cookies, no cakes, no a lot of those things that we know are just not very good for us. And so again, try experimenting with a day without gluten. Now, I'm not saying you can't have it. Sometimes you need to have carbs before a workout, before an Ironman race. I had some gluten the day before. I had a plain white bagel, but that's because I was trying to carb load for a race. Most of us aren't every day. So try taking gluten out of your life. See what happens. See how you feel. What happens with me is that I don't feel bloated after I eat. And what Mariana does now is she makes everything gluten-free. So all of our noodles and pastas and anything kind of flour that she cooks with, pizza doughs, it's all gluten-free. And I find when I eat it, it just sits really nice in my belly. I don't feel sick and ill. I don't want to lay down on the sofa. So play with it. Monday for me is a gluten-free day, and I try that, and that's your first quadrant. And I'll get into the days after that. The second London Real quadrant is S, and it stands for sugar. Folks, most of you, without knowing it, are addicted to sugar. You consume it all the time in all sorts of foods, and I'm going to share with you one of my students later named Maha, who recovered from a sugar addiction after the London Real Academy Life Accelerator. So I want to talk about the sugar addiction. Sugar is everywhere. We don't even know it. It's in diet foods, it's in cheeses, it's in fizzy beverages, it's in everything. It's in all sorts of things. It's in muffins. It's in the raw sugar you see at Starbucks. It's in most drinks at Starbucks. I always say I love Starbucks, but they're drug dealers. They deal in sugar and caffeine, and it's mostly sugar. Look at a Frappuccino. Look at all of those vanilla extracts and stuff they stick in their drinks. They're all sugar-based. It's sneaking and hiding everywhere. Look at any package and look. Natural sugars, it's a sugar. High fructose corn syrup, it's a sugar. Coconut sugar, it's all a sugar. When I've gone vegan the past 100 days, I've noticed that tons of vegan food is loaded with sugar instead. Avoid the sugar. It spikes your insulin. It contributes to diabetes. It goes straight to fat in your system. Try taking sugar out of the equation and you will see all sorts of things happening. Sugar is in orange juice, concentrated calories. Avoid that. So try a day without sugar. For me, I like to go sugar-free on Mondays. And again, just look around. Look for something that doesn't have sugar in it. Read the package. It's everywhere and you just don't notice it. So again, 2 quadrants here. I choose, okay, Monday is a gluten-free day and maybe it's a sugar-free day. Very simple choices to make. In fact, when you choose to live in these 2 quadrants, it will remove 96% of the food choices out there for you. Stuff you shouldn't be eating. You know, they went into one of these convenience stores recently and they found out that 96% of the foods had high fructose corn syrup. I'm not joking. From the peanuts to the beef jerky to the chips and the crisps and everything in there had some of it in there. They sneak it in on you because it tastes good and it tricks your body into liking that food. So that's one of those quadrants. Let's eliminate it a few days a week and see how we feel. The next one is F. F stands for fasting, all right? Fasting is an incredible way to give your gut biome a break and to see what it's like without food. So many of us wake up in the morning and we eat breakfast and we don't know why, right? If you're one of those people, type yes. You go pour the cereal in the thing and pour the milk and you're eating cornflakes and you don't know why. Look on the back of the box. What's in there? Guess what? Sugar. Cheerios, sugar. Cornflakes, sugar. Guess what else is in there? Gluten, right? It's not doing you any favors. You go to the breakfast place in the morning. You have things all the time. You're eating meals and you don't know why. You're not even hungry and you don't know why. Try a fast. And what I like to do is an intermittent fast at first. So don't eat until your lunch meal. That means you'll be fasting from, say, 9 o'clock at night until, say, the next day at 12 o'clock. That's a 15-hour fast. Gives your gut a break and allows you to just live off liquids. If you need a coffee in the morning or a tea or something that's fortified with a little bit of oil, that's fine. But don't have a meal and see what it's like to go for an intermittent fast. When you want to go to the next level, you can try a water fast all day, but try skipping meals and see how it makes you feel. You'll be surprised how much energy you get, and I'm a big fan of doing that. I like to do my intermittent fast on a Wednesday and just skip that meal in the morning and see how I feel. So that's quadrant number 4. The final quadrant is the V quadrant. And this one's really interesting because we created this quadrant 2 years ago. We've been teaching it for that long and having amazing success. The V was a vegetarian quadrant. I always knew that it would probably be a healthy thing to just go vegetarian for the day. Try skipping the meats and see how you feel. How hard is it? These days there's so many choices. And we know that probably meat and dairy are not good for us. They cause, clogging of the arteries. They cause phlegm buildup, not to mention the carbon footprint, the mistreatment of animals. There's all these different reasons that why not try a day without it and just see how you feel. And so we've always introduced V into the diet. For me, it used to be meatless Mondays, and I would just do all of these things in one day. Now, you might say, gluten-free, vegan, and sugar for the day. What do you eat, Brian? I eat amazing things. I eat incredible things. You know, I eat pancakes with gluten-free flour. I eat dal with rice. I eat hummus. I eat falafel. I eat all sorts of incredible things. Black beans. I eat all sorts of amazing things that day. So you can do it. But try one day vegetarian and just see how it goes. And that is the London Real Quadrant. And it's all about choosing certain days for different diet choices. So right now, I want you to go ahead and tell me for the next 7 days, what are some of the choices you're going to be making? Yeah, and you might even want to type in there, Monday is this, and Tuesday is this, and Wednesday is this. And so you might just say, okay, on Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to try gluten-free and just give it a try. See what it's like. Go out there in the world and find out, wow, it's everywhere. I didn't realize that it's here and it's there and it's everywhere. Try it without. Try a rice-based. Try something that's corn-based and try to get your carbs in a different way. There's so many gluten-free choices out there, so try it. Try going sugar-free on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Try getting rid of those concentrated sugars, the fructose, any of that stuff in muffins and candy bars and Starbucks. All of that stuff really has to go. Try an intermittent fast for one day. Skip breakfast. See how you feel. You're going to feel light and really in control, lots of energy. You can always have a coffee with cacao butter or with oil in there if you want to get some calories, but try that out. And then finally, try going plant-based for 1 day. Now, if you're already an expert in all this stuff, I've got something else for you. The quadrant also comes in an advanced version. The gluten-free, you can go ketogenic, which means cut out all the carbs and try getting into ketosis, eating lots of fats and lots of protein. That's the advanced version here. If you're already sugar-free, try going caffeine-free. Cut out the coffee and cut out the tea. It might take a day or two to flush it out of your system, but you'll find that your energy levels are much more stable. I really avoid coffee right now. I only have it every now and then, and when I do have it, sometimes I find I get jittery and I don't like it anymore. So try that out. If you're fasting, try an entire water fast and go an entire day drinking only liquids and cut out the calories. That's an advanced version. And if you're already vegetarian, try going vegan, which means cut out all the dairy and the butters and the milk. Now that's what I've been for the last 80 days. And it's fascinating because I'll tell you this. And right now, if you could just type in there, what do you want to try for the next 7 days? Do you want to go gluten-free Monday through Friday? Do you want to try sugar-free? Do you want to go vegetarian 1 day? Do you want to do an intermittent fast? This is what I teach inside my academy. Once people start doing this, the weight just falls off. The energy goes through the roof and they find themselves completely transformed. But the great thing about this eating philosophy is this. This has served me for the past 2 years. It served me before I decided to go plant-based. I was already playing with this. I was going gluten-free most days, sugar-free most days. I was intermittent fasting maybe 3 or 4 days a week. And I was doing vegetarian 1 day a week, meatless Mondays. Now, when I got the Iron Mind Challenge and John Joseph said, Brian, you're going to go plant-based and run a crazy endurance race, right? The most difficult single-day endurance challenge in the world, and you're going to do it on a plant-based diet. For me, it was very easy to shift everything into this quadrant, and that's what I did. I was already gluten-free. I was already sugar-free. I was already comfortable with fasting, and all I did was move into this quadrant to where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday went to where I did a V every single day. So I went from 1 V to all of these Vs. But I was already experienced in it, and I just ate more often. I ate more calories. The other thing I did is some days I introduced sugars back into my diet, and I'd have some maple syrup. I'd have some agave syrup. Sometimes I'd just have some sugar because I knew I needed the calories. And now that I've stopped doing the Ironman, I've now cut the sugars out. I've actually stayed vegan right now. But in the future, if I want to go back, I can constantly use this quadrant. That's what I love about this. It's an eating philosophy that can serve you for who you are. So now go into the chat right now and tell me, what do you want to play with? Again, try one of these every day. I'll go gluten-free on Monday. I'll go sugar-free on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'll try the intermittent fast. On Thursday, I'll go vegetarian 1 day. Now, on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to shake it up a little. I'm going to go gluten and sugar-free. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, there's nothing to eat. Of course, there's wonderful things to eat. And I'm going to intermittent fast that day. And maybe on Sunday, you're going to go all in, right? Gluten-free, intermittent fast, sugar-free, and vegetarian, which is what I end up doing most days. I feel great. I look great. I got great energy. And that's what I want you to try. And I want to leave you right now with a testimonial from one of my students. Her name was Maha, and she took our Life Accelerator course. She was actually located in the UAE. I think she wasn't in Dubai. I think she was in Abu Dhabi. And she was an amazing woman, great energy. But when she went into this eating quadrant in Module 3 of the Life Accelerator, she discovered a scary thing. She was addicted to sugar. She didn't know it, and a lot of you are the same way. I'd say about half of you don't have any idea the quantity of sugar you're eating. And it was everywhere she was eating. She was eating cookies and crisps and candy bars and all of these things that were fortified with sugar. The Frappuccino, right? All of that stuff was loaded with sugar. And when she cut it out, she had physical withdrawal symptoms. And after 3 days, she got out of it. She lost 10, 20, 30 pounds and got over her addiction. It was absolutely incredible. Here's a quick video about Maha. Tell me about the sugar addiction, because it's week 3 that we did diet, right?
Yes.
And there was a quadrant, there was no gluten, there was one vegetarian quadrant, intermittent fast, and then
Yes.
sugar.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So sugar was the hardest for me because I had to come to terms with the fact that I'm addicted to sugar. And I was addicted to sugar in a big way. And I didn't know how to really get over it myself, because I had tried in the past and it wasn't really working. But what's unique about this program is the ownership, the ownership that you put on us to really make a difference, and the fact that I had a peer group watching over me, watching my every move, and you were watching our every move. You're like, so I had to really not embarrass myself and really sort of be honest with myself and say, okay, I could easily post pictures of vegetarian salads and say this is what I'm eating, and then behind closed doors eat, 5 Mars bars or whatever. But I didn't want to do that because I really wanted to make a change, so I had to be very truthful about it. And honestly, if it wasn't for the peer group and the fact that we were being held accountable by everything we were doing, I don't think I could have beaten that sugar addiction.
Because you were getting headaches and stuff. I mean, that was serious. But
Yeah.
you quit cold turkey on the sugar.
I went cold turkey, yeah. I could have done it gradually, but I decided, no, I'm just going to go cold turkey. No gluten and no sugar. So, yes, the initial days were hard because I was getting extreme headaches. So that was the sugar withdrawal symptoms. And it was getting really difficult to concentrate at work, to focus on anything. But over a few days, it actually became less and less. And after about a week, it almost disappeared. So I'm glad I stuck with it. And I shared that with the group because I wanted everyone to know that, this is what I'm going through. And everybody was so supportive. So it was really helpful.
And so that was Maha. She's got incredible energy. And really, she was literally addicted to sugar and didn't know it. But once she got on the eating quadrant, she started losing massive amounts of weight. But more importantly, she had more energy and she wasn't constantly thinking about food all the time. So it was absolutely incredible. Again, I'd love for you to type in what quadrant that you want to try for the next 7 days. And if you have any questions or comments about this stuff, I'm not going to lie. This stuff is controversial. Some people say, no, gluten isn't what you think it is. Oh, sugar, blah, blah, blah. All I know is what's worked for me and over 1,000 students. This stuff is real, and I'm drawing a line in the sand. This stuff works. Every single guest on London Real has confirmed this is true, and so that's why I go with it, and that's why I teach it. What are people saying about this? When you start talking about people's food, there's a lot of controversy, and I get it, but I've seen the results myself.
A lot of people are already kind of doing 1 or 2 parts of the quadrant here,
Okay.
and kind of questions about other ones. But Fernando is saying avoiding sugar is going to be the toughest thing for him. We also have Michael saying he's trying to avoid sugar all the time, but he's kind of struggling a little bit with that.
Yeah, I'm curious for both of you guys, Mike and Fernando, if you can type in what are those top 3 foods that get you? Is it the donuts or is it slid in something else? Because we all have something, so I'm really curious. But go ahead.
Michael also says he's going to try going vegetarian. At the moment, he's eating meat 2 or 3 times a day. Definitely feels like it's too much.
Yeah, try one day. Try the Meatless Monday. To be honest, I did Meatless Monday for 2 years before I went full-on plant-based. And it got me interested. It showed me that things like dal, there's some amazing vegetarian meals out there and even vegan meals. It tastes great. The engineering is constantly getting better. They've got, vegetarian meats. And it's funny, John Joseph, who challenged me to this Ironman race, said, look, Brian, at first I needed to get like a vegetarian burger to get across my addiction to meat. And so it's okay to kind of lean on some of these processed foods that still have vegetables, but just to get you used to it, because taste is still very important. So try it 1 day, 2 days. Don't go all out or you'll never finish.
Joseph is saying he's going to try meatless Mondays.
Good.
Stuart wants to get your thoughts on the carnivore diet, or at least a higher protein and fat with low carbs.
Yeah, look, I've seen the paleo, and I know that people eat all meats all the time, and I know people want to play with that option. I've done, options where I've just cut out all the carbs and specializes in meat and protein. Right now, I'm trying the 100% plant-based diet. To be honest, as long as you're in a quadrant, I'm happy. I really think the gluten and the sugar, I just think they're long-term killers. And again, they just add to excess body fat, and we know that kills you in the long run. If you're walking around with an extra 10 pounds, not only do you look bad, you're lethargic, you probably have brain fog, but it's just gonna kill you. So I'd rather you cut those 2 things out. Show me someone who's gluten-free and sugar-free, who's 30 pounds overweight, and I don't know, it's very rare, that person. That's why the beauty of this quadrant, if you just skip those things and eat whole foods, right? Earth-grown nutrients, as Mike Dolce would say. Did your grandma cook it? That's a good sign. Can you go out there right now and pull it out of the ground, or catch it in the field, or fish for it in the stream and then eat it? That's a really good sign. When I eat only vegetables, I have to eat a big quantity to get full. and then it usually restricts my calories. So whatever you got to do. I'm not anti meat only or carnivore diets. I just like you trying things and seeing what it does with your body.
Sakshi says, what about energy though? Isn't sugar the main source of energy?
You know, no, it's not. If you just eat pure sugar, like pure glucose or pure fructose, if you think about nature, it doesn't exist in nature. Sugar is a recent invention. It only happened about 150 years ago. It comes from processed sugar cane. They used to ship it to England. And actually, the English aristocracy used to have black teeth because it was a sign of wealth that they were eating this sugar. Most natural sugars come in a natural form, which means in an apple, it's filled with pulp and all sorts of fiber. If you try to eat 3 or 4 apples in a row, you'll get sick and get full. And yet we process it in apple juice or orange juice, the most natural, beautiful thing in the world. BS. Orange juice is just pure sugar that's concentrated that you can drink 2 gallons of. In the nature, you would never do that. Unless you came across a beehive, well, let's be honest, you'd have to fight for that sugar. It doesn't belong in the body. Sure, complex carbohydrates are converted into blood sugar, but just consuming that sugar on its own spikes your insulin. It goes straight into fat. It's just a bad idea. Don't do it. Go back to the old days. What would your great-grandmother make, right? Stay away from concentrated calories and sugar. It's going to kill you.
Well, on that note, Rad's asking, what's your opinion on sugar in fruit?
So sugar in fruit, I'm happy with if you eat the fruit itself, okay? Sure, bananas are a little high in sugar. I wouldn't eat like 5 of those every day. But if you're going to eat the fruit itself, just do it, but do it in moderation. Pineapple has high sugar levels. Don't eat a whole pineapple every day. But if you're eating it with the pulp, I believe your system and your brain knows how to deal with it. If you're eating fruit juice, stay away from it. You can drink the equivalent of 10 pineapples very, very quickly. So don't touch it. I don't like fruit juices. Orange juice is the biggest con ever done to man, right? Don't touch it. Don't touch fruit juices at all. Eat the fruit you want. Okay, great. Eat vegetables. That I'm good for. But when it comes to concentrated sugar, stay away from it. All right, cool. Let's get to part 2. All right, and this is where it starts getting fun. This is where I want to talk about human movement. All right, the body is designed to move. And I remember when I originally had Ido Portal on my show from 2014. You can watch all of my conversations with Ido and my movie with Ido for free on YouTube. I'm a huge fan of Ido. He's also one of the smartest guys I've ever met, aside from movement. He's actually an amazing guy. He actually has some amazing nutrition ideas as well that he doesn't talk about much. But Ido taught me about you must move the body. And Ido said, think, Brian, 100 years ago, if we wanted to go get a sip of water from the stream, we would have to jump over trees. We would have to swing from branches. We would have to squat down. We would have to spin around, maybe roll around just to get the sip of water. These days, we engineer our lives not to move. There is something inherently wrong with that. And so he started talking to me about movement because movement of the body stimulates the brain and vice versa. And Ido was talking to me about different movement patterns, things he called level 3 movement versus level 1 movement, trying new movement patterns, not just going to the gym and doing this all the time or running on the treadmill. Ido used to say, Brian, if you haven't been thrown out of your gym, you're doing something wrong. And trust me, I've almost been thrown out of a gym many, many times because I like doing goofy and fun stuff. I think movement can help you stimulate the mind. And Ido got me into breakdancing and hand balancing, and new movement creates new neural pathways in your brain, and it's the way for a happier life, a more creative life, a more passionate life. I get some of the greatest ideas for London Real when I'm in the gym or outside doing movement, usually creative movement and weird movement that other people laugh at. That's usually a good sign. Like I said, the things that will get you thrown out of the gym. Most of the people watching now, you probably don't have a body that's super functional. Or maybe if it is, you're sitting there just doing repetitive lifting weights, you're running on a treadmill and you don't know why you're actually using your body. And maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm too fat to do this. I'm too old to do this. But the Ironman race showed me that that's not true. I'm 47 years old and I just got this thing, right? This I got because in less than 6 hours, I swam 2 kilometers. Something I never thought I could do. I mean, honestly, swimming 100 yards was hard for me 6 months ago. Then I cycled for 56 miles in a row in heats. And after that, I ran a half of a marathon. Like, this is real talk, folks. And I got there by pushing my body harder than I ever thought I could. And in pushing my body, I realized that I could push my mind harder than I ever thought. And that made me realize maybe in life I can go bigger than I ever thought. Maybe London Real can be bigger. Maybe my impact on the world can be bigger. So I believe when you move your body, you realize unfulfilled potential in your life. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. And I want to teach you something that Ido Portal taught me. And I move every single day based on Ido, and I try new movement patterns all the time. And I want to show you something he taught me, and then I want you to start thinking in your life, what's something new I can do in movement? Maybe I can go do that Zumba class that all the girls are doing in, right? Because why not, right? It looks like fun. Maybe you can start breakdancing at 45 years old. I did that thanks to Ido Portal, and I got a windmill, thank you very much. I'm pretty good at it. Maybe you do Tai Chi. Maybe you do hand balancing. A lot of you have seen my handstands on Instagram. I love it. It's so much fun. It reminds me of a little kid. I can't wait to get to hand balancing class and try this and try that. Maybe you'll try a triathlon, right? Maybe you'll go and do the jiu-jitsu class, the boxing class, the salsa dancing class, the rock climbing, the swimming. There's so many things we can do with this body, and we forget it. And the truth is, it's going to engage you in life. It's going to make you a better person, a more attractive person to other people. It's going to give you better ideas. It's absolutely amazing. So tonight, I want to teach you something that Ido taught me, and I'm going to move this thing out of the way, and I'm going to pull this board over because I'm going to actually use this as a functional piece, right? And what I want to teach to you tonight is the spinal wave, all right? And again, I have to thank Ido Portal. He's an incredible man, and he really taught me so much about movement, and I'm constantly learning from him and looking at my body and exploring it in different ways, whether it's hand balancing or breakdancing or even pushing it to do a triathlon or an Ironman race. And so this is what the spinal wave is all about, and I'm going to teach you tonight, and you can start by doing this every morning, ideally for a long period of time, maybe 5 minutes, all right? And it's designed to move the spine, okay? We really want to get that spine moving. Most of you are not moving your spine at all. And Ido said to me one time, he said, you are only as old as your spine. And he always used to say that if you saw someone walking like a half a mile away, you can always see how healthy their spine is. Look how someone walks into the room. Maybe they walk into the room like this. Think about an old man who walks, right? Or an old lady who walks down the street like this. You can already tell how healthy they are by their spine. Look at the way Conor McGregor walks in the ring, right? He walks in like this, right? He walks in like that. Like Vinnie McMahon, right? From the World WWE, right? And that's because he's got all of this movement, right? And there's a reason why Ido Portal trains Conor McGregor, right? Because he got him moving that spine, and now Conor knows that that's where that fluidity is, right? The moving of the spine is youth, right? Look at dancers and people doing this. It shows you that someone is living life, right? As opposed to, oh, this doesn't feel good, oh. And all of a sudden you communicate who you are as a human. So I want to get that spine back. A lot of us have calcifications and blockages. We're not using this T-spine, the upper part of our spine, and Ido teaches this in his workshops. It's absolutely incredible how to activate all of these aspects of the spine. But one of the basic things that he teaches is the spinal wave. I do it every day here at London Real. The whole team does it. You've probably seen us on Instagram stories doing these spinal waves, and I want to teach it to you tonight. So get out of your chair, wherever you are. I can see you. So get up and find a vertical surface somewhere, all right? It could be anything. It could be a pole, a wall. It could be a bus, whatever you need, right? There's some vertical surface around you, a doorway, whatever it is. Get that vertical surface right here, and I want you to come close to it and stick your head on that vertical surface, and I want you to stick your feet about 6 inches from the wall. Actually, a lot closer than you think to the wall. Now, I'm going to use this as a vertical surface. Now, this pole, this leg is here, but I'm fairly close to it. I'm actually very close, maybe even 3 inches away from that vertical surface. All right? And this is how the spinal wave works. Pay attention closely. All right? So, spinal wave, you got your hands at your side. All right? I'm fairly close to the wall, 3 inches, 6 inches away. It starts by putting the top of my forehead on the wall. All right? So it's just the top of the forehead. The next thing I do is I touch my nose to the wall. Now you'll notice that my forehead is now not touching the wall. Only one part of your body is touching the wall at any point in time. Next, my chin touches the wall. And if you can see, everything else is not touching the wall. Okay, that's good. Next, I move my chest into the wall. Just the chest. Next, I move my ribs into the wall. See, my chest is no longer touching. Next, I move my abdomen into the wall. Nothing else is touching. And finally, I put my hips into the wall. Now you can see my nose and my forehead are now the furthest away from this wall. And so what's it time to do? Now it's time to go back and touch my head to the wall. Now look, my hips are now furthest away from the wall, right? And what do we do? Repeat again. Nose, chin, chest, ribs, stomach, pelvis. Now look, my head's furthest away. I go back in. Head, nose, chin, chest, ribs, stomach. Do you see here we are getting into a pattern? And it's a lot like when we used to be in the ocean, like a fish, right? Look at my spine. And if you combine this stuff together, you can start off very slow. You can see that my spine is moving in a wave. Do you see that, right? And you can feel your back moving in weird ways it hasn't moved before. And make sure that you touch each point, right? What I used to do is lead with my shoulders. If you watch me in the movie Just Move with Ido Portal, I'm using my shoulders too much. Don't. And this takes learning. At first, you're going to suck at it. That's a good thing. That means it's fun and your brain is learning. So you see I'm doing these spinal waves, right? Now, if I want, I can reverse it. Hips first, abdomen, ribs, chest, chin, nose, head. Now my A's are all the way back, and I can go back like this. This is one of Conor McGregor's favorites. You can see him doing this on YouTube. He does this every morning. When I do the reverse, I find that my lower back kind of pops and creaks a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something. Ido says that this lubricates the spine. And the thing is, you don't do this for 30 seconds. You do this for like minutes and minutes every morning. It starts to really release a lot of the tension, and you say, oh, I got something weird here. I got something wrong here. And now you can start stepping forward a little bit, stepping forward a little bit, stepping back, and see if you can keep this motion up. And if you watch our movie, Just Move with Ido Portal, he's teaching this in the class, and I'm going to hopefully show a video later. But you see how I'm keeping up this thing, and I can sometimes reverse it and go back in. Sometimes I'm going to get a little funky here, and I'm going to go to one side, and then I'm going to go to the other side. And so hopefully you're enjoying this now. So hopefully you're up out doing the spinal wave right now, and you're freeing everything up in your body, and you can go really big with it and put your knees into it if you want, or you can just make it really slow and subtle. Again, always go back to the wall and check your form. Forehead, nose, chin, chest, ribs, abdomen, hips, and then I'm furthest away here, and then back in, dive in, look up at the ceiling, and then dive in, forehead. You see as my head goes up, I turn my head up at the ceiling, bam, dive in, really go in, and then reverse it, go back down in, hip, stomach, and boom, hip, stomach, always go back to your form, and you'll get to be where you're really good at this, right? If you see me in the movie, I'm not very good at this. So yeah, and do that. And keep it going for 4 and 5 minutes. My spine is now feeling great. It's feeling really lubricated. I can probably dance now. I can do b-boy moves. I do this stuff in the gym. People think I'm weird, but I feel great. And actually, people are starting to do it as well. And when Conor McGregor's doing it in the UFC, well, you know it's smart, right? So that's exactly how that spinal wave goes. This is the start of a new movement pattern for you. That's why I want to teach it to you tonight. This is something you can do every single day. It will start also fixing a lot of your lower back problems and really engaging the spine. A lot of that calcification. You'll feel, wow, I'm doing things. From there, I want you to start listening to your body and thinking, what else can I do with my body besides going to the treadmill or pumping out the bench press, right? All the guys, I want the personal best. My bench press max was 115 kgs, right? That's all great, but it doesn't necessarily lead to new movement patterns. And so based on that, I want you to think, what else can you do? What other movement pattern could you start this week? I started breakdancing. I started working on my handstand. I have taken Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, boxing classes, Thai boxing classes. Go to a Zumba class. Go to a spinning class. Try an Ironman triathlon. These are all the things I want you to start thinking about now. And go ahead and type in the chat and type in the new movement practice that you want to start today. What can you sign up for a class in right now? Can you email a personal trainer and say, I want to do this, I want to learn from you? Can you book something and start changing your movement patterns? In my academy and in the Life Accelerator, we move every single day of the week. And in Module 4, we have a different movement pattern for each day. Yoga is a big thing I do now. So we do yoga, Tai Chi, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hand balancing, head balancing, salsa dance, everything. And I want you to really think about what the new movement pattern you want to do in your life. And I want you to also think, how will that movement pattern change who you are? How will it change your fitness? How will it change how you feel about yourself? So there's the spinal wave. It's a very, very basic thing and a basic piece that you can incorporate into your routine every day. It takes a few weeks or a month to get really into it. I'm already feeling my lower back from doing that. And you can really start playing with it. It's the perfect warm-up. Again, it's used by dancers, modern dancers, UFC fighters, anyone out there who really wants to move their body functional. That is the wave of the future in my mind. And so now I want to share with you a video of me doing movement that I love in preparation for this Ironman. I'm out at Hampstead Heath, and you can see, for me, movement is life. I do these things because it makes me feel better. I learned all of these movement patterns in the last 3 months. I learned how to cycle competitively, I learned how to run long distance, and I learned how to swim better and better and better. Maybe swimming is one of your movement practice, but here is me doing some movement in nature. And those are just some movement patterns that you can do. I probably engage in 15 or 20 different movement patterns. This stuff I just learned, and it was so much fun mastering cycling and swimming. But I even did a swimming class today. Now I want to go for the butterfly stroke. I just really find this stuff addictive. And again, always do something that challenges the brain and sets up new neural pathways. I love that so much more than just repetitive motion. And again, type in the chat and tell me what's a new movement pattern that you can engage with this week. It's going to change your life, change your brain, change everything. I would love to see what people think here, and if they thought the spinal wave was weird, or it's just a way to start engaging with your body in a new way. I also think once you get used to weirdness, you start allowing yourself to do new things, Not
a lot of people saying it's weird. Actually, it sounds like you're inspiring a lot of people to try
cool.
new things here. Hugh says, adding the spinal wave to my daily movement now.
Awesome, Hugh. It's a great exercise in the morning, really gets things flowing. Lido always said it decalcifies and lubricates the spine. Always be thinking about when you're doing that.
Rad says he's going to start climbing with his son.
Awesome. Oh man, great to get your kids involved. I take Caden to a swimming lesson now every Sunday. It's our hour together, and I know he's always going to have memories of that. I love it.
Stuart actually says he's a window cleaner, and what he loves about his job is actually the different movements and positions he gets into while he's working.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you really have a creative way to move. It allows you to do all of those things. And I mean, within safety's sake, you can probably even play with different ways of doing things, so that's great. But also challenge yourself to a new movement pattern. And for a lot of the guys, I'm a big fan of dance. I started doing breakdancing 2 years ago, and I found that I was expressing myself physically, which is something we're going to do right after I get done talking with Julian. And it's something a lot of us tough guys aren't ready to do, right? The tough guys don't go to the school dance, but it's just a completely different way of engaging with your body. It's money in the bank.
Lucas says hand balancing, breakdancing, calisthenics. Jose says yoga, Sakshi, martial arts. Stuart says he's been wanting to try Pilates for years. He needs to start, and he also has a neighbor that teaches yoga, so that may be something to try as well.
Yeah, do it. Pull the trigger on yoga. If you saw our movie with Dorian Yates, I went down there to Marbella with him, and here's the guy that was the best physical specimen in the world for 6 years in a row. 260 pounds of shredded 4% body weight muscle. Now he does yoga and can do the splits. That is what he did. That got me to do yoga practice. I do it every single week. It's changed everything. Start that practice. Pull the trigger. Do Pilates. Just pull the trigger tonight on one of those movement practices. It'll change your life and actually send you in a completely new direction. All right? Great stuff. Do that. Now I want to talk about really using that body to express yourself. And look, At London Real, we don't mind a little controversy. We don't mind going against the stream a little bit. And now I want to tell you about something that I learned from one of my guests. His name was Elliot Hulse. He runs a huge YouTube channel. He is a pioneer in YouTube and the strength space and the movement space. He's been uploading videos for the past 10 years. He does incredible stuff. He does strength camp. He does grounding camp. And he's got a new version that's just for men only. It's absolutely amazing. And he taught me about something called active meditation or dynamic meditation. He learned it from Osho, and it's an incredible way of getting your body and your emotions all in one, getting out of your comfort zone, getting out about how people feel or how people judge you. And tonight I want to talk about this practice named active meditation. I teach this at all our live events. I do this in a three-piece suit and a tie, and I absolutely love teaching this. It's a great metaphor that the body is the mind. So many times we walk around with tension, right? We walk around stressed out because we used to express ourselves with our bodies. We used to jump up and down and say, hey, what's going on? We used to dance and yell and scream. Nowadays, we just have to be really proper and be nice and politically correct and type an email. Nah, we miss the chance to be animals, to be humans again. That's what I want to talk about tonight. And this is an incredible exercise. So get ready to get out of your chair and do this. But before we do that, I want to play for you this video. This is me teaching active meditation at one of my live events. And yes, we're going to do this together right after you finish watching this. Elliot has something called active meditation, and it's a practice that I've started to use in my life. It's a way that Elliot expresses his physical energy.
More people have grown enlightened through dance than any other medium. The shaman is doing this. Very sense-oriented. He's very in his body. He's moving around, he's singing, he's...
Who's in? Yeah? All right. Everything's gonna be okay. Okay! There's 5 steps. First step, it is breathing. So it goes a bit like this. The second round is where it starts to get interesting. This is when you are screaming, you are laughing, you are letting it all out. Here we go, catharsis, let's get this party started. Amazing! Next step, grounding. So you're getting all the energy, you're getting it down into the ground. Hands up and let's ground this thing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ground it out. 4th step is tranquilization. This is when you just turn off, as if you were hit by a tranquilizer dart. Last step, and that is celebration. You've done the hard work, you got the emotions up, you got the energy grounded out, you've tranquilized, and now you're just celebrating. It's a slow dance with yourself.
Welcome to London.
It's all good.
God city we come from. Welcome to London. God city we come from. London town and we go play the Eden sound. We go party all night long. Sun is shining and you know we gonna feel good. Come on everybody, party in the neighborhood. Eden nights, flexing, check our new sound.
And so that is a demonstration of active meditation, and now we're going to all do this together. So get out of your seats. I'm serious. I can see you. So get out of your seat and do this 5 rounds with me. We're going to do 1 minute each. I'm going to walk you through these cycles. It's going to be breathing, where we're going to get as much air in, as much air out for 1 minute. right? Then it's going to be catharsis. We're going to scream and yell and think about your boss or your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or your crazy kids. Let it all out. Then we're going to ground and jump up and down with our hands in the air like this. Then we're going to tranquilize. I'm going to hit the ground. I'm not going to move for a minute. And finally, we're going to dance and celebrate that we made it through. All right? If you're ready to do this, type yes in the chat. All right? Type yes and let me see that you're with me. I'm going to count this timer off. And let's get started right now with 60 seconds, and we're going to breathe. Ready? So. You're not going to join me, Bells? Again, I'm hyperoxygenating, getting lots of air. I'm feeling kind of high and hyperoxygenated. That's 20 seconds in. 20 seconds more. That's 60 seconds, all right? That's the alarm. And now we are going to catharsis, 60 seconds of screaming. Come on, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let out all those emotions. Scream and yell. Let people know what it is. Cry if you want. Laugh if you want. Bark like a dog if you want. Who cares? Let everything out you've been holding inside for weeks or for months. Who cares? There it is. We got 10 seconds left. 2, 1, and now it is... That's 1 minute. Now we're back to grounding. So get all the physical energy out. Put your hands above your head and ground this energy into the ground, right? I like to lock my knees and just bounce up and down like that. If you can stamp your legs in the ground like this. You can do the catharsis as well, like take all that tension and energy and push it down into your body, into the ground. Back where it came from. Put your hands over your head. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you see UFC fighters, sometimes they get into the ring like this and they make their mark. You see sumo wrestlers, they go like this. Maybe Native Americans, they dance around the campfire. Get all that out. This is what we were meant to do, right? Dance all that stuff out. I already feel better. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Get all that energy out. Let it all out, right? Don't judge yourself. Who cares? 2 seconds, 1 second. And now we are going to go and tranquilize. On the ground and don't move. Don't move. Don't talk. You're probably breathing hard and just be there at peace with your thoughts. Don't think about anything. This could be one of the peaceful moments you've had all year, just now. Boom. And the last minute is celebration. So just go ahead and you can have a slow dance to yourself. Maybe you can play a little music, you know, I don't know, see what I got here. but I just like to think of like slow dance or just like, you know, just like a little something, like, you know, just put something on and just be like, you've done it. You let everything out. You're celebrating life. It's on. You just got it all out. You got the emotions. You're you. You're here right now in this world. You're in a human body. You're super grateful. The sky's the limit. The future's the limit. You got it. You got the energy. You got the physicality. You got the nutrition. The world is yours. You just let all this stuff out. You got the oxygen in. You got it. And this is the celebration phase. This is active meditation, baby. That was 5 minutes, and we got it. Boom. And that's the minute, folks. That's active meditation. I'm going to keep dancing there. That's really fun. So that's active meditation, folks. It's 5 rounds of 5 minutes. You can do this anytime you want. If you want with the catharsis, you can do it quietly, like, so you don't wake up the neighbors. But honestly, go ahead and do it anyways. I used to do this in public parks, and I always remembered it takes longer than 5 minutes for the police to show up. And by then, you're like, what? I didn't hear anything. And you can use this as a tool to eliminate stress, to eliminate anxiety. At any point in your day, when something's going crazy, say, I'm going to take 5 minutes out and go do your active meditation. You can do longer rounds than 1 minute. You can do 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Elliot Holst does 12-minute rounds. He'll do this for an entire hour. It's crazy. So you can push the boundaries on this, but this is a tool you can use the rest of your life. So incorporate it. We do this in the Life Accelerator course with everyone in the world on one live call. It's absolutely incredible. People do it with their kids, and they form great relationships with their kids. I'm going to do this with my boys when they get a little older, and we're going to jump around. It's physical communication, the way we were meant to do it. And so I want to go, and you tell me, how did that feel? Type in the chat. How did it feel? Did you have a reservation? Were you scared? Did it feel good? Did it feel weird? Did it feel bad? Type that in right now. And here is one of my students named Leonardo. He's an ex-Harvard professor. And here are some of the gains that he reported after going through all of these processes in our Life Accelerator course.
The accelerator's been very, very powerful in that regard, because in the work that we do, you can't transform people and organizations in a meaningful way unless they've really established their identity and know that significant change is possible. And that's where the accelerator is so critical. And I don't think anybody does it better than you guys do, and I really mean that. You can't go through the accelerator and not realize that I have enormous capacities and capable and responsible for building the life that I want to live, and that I can actually do it. I mean, that's the starting point, and it's quite an experience. I mean, not only for myself, but for all the other people involved. I've been involved academically and in consulting work with this kind of work for like 30 years. It's one thing to know it, it's another thing to experience it. For example, in our enterprise, we're really going to scale in a very big way right now. And I knew I needed something very catalytic to push me off the edge, to make me get involved as much and be at the top of my game, but in a very special way. And the experience that I had in making the videos at London Real, especially the relationship ones, where mine were very extensive, very deep, very self-revealing, that was very much a transformative experience even for me, because it forced me, in a sense, to put everything on the line and say, you know, to myself, you know, I'm willing to do anything to make this project that I'm working on successful, simply because it's so important to me and the other people involved, and there are no limits to what I could do. If it wasn't for that particular step, I would have never, that one piece would have never clicked in the powerful way that it has. And because of that, I've reached a level of effectiveness in this kind of work that I just never had before.
So I love hearing that stuff from Leonardo. He always said, Brian, you're like Apple Computer. People buy something from you and then they come back and say, what else you got? And he's an amazing guy. He was incredibly crushed it in the Life Accelerator. But now I want to hear from you. How did that feel going through the active meditation? You know, did you like it? Did you hate it? You know, this is weird, you know, Bales. A lot of people get self-conscious. A lot of people think I wouldn't do this in public. But once you do it, it's super empowering. And I find, honestly, it carries over to other things in life. If you're willing to do this in public, you can go out there and get up in public speak, maybe go in there and crush it at business. So what are people saying?
I've seen you do it many times in public, Mr. Rose, scaring dogs in the park on a Saturday morning. But you have no fear doing this, right?
No, I've seen you do it too.
It's true. Yasmin says, oh my God, this was amazing. Abhinav also says, this is amazing.
Okay.
Rob said it was awesome. Tommy says it was fun, as you mentioned there as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, it has to be fun at the end of the day, right?
John says he's writing this down so he can do it every single day.
Cool.
Kaz says it felt awesome. James says it feels like a release.
Yeah. You know, a lot of us, we just don't give ourselves permission to release these emotions or these physicality. And so, because in our everyday life, we're taught you can't do that, right? When was the last time you saw somebody walking down the street yelling? They're crazy. But yeah, you got to get this stuff out or it gets pent up in your physicality and you take it out on other people. So you got to release it.
We have Cameron said he ended up screaming into some pillows so his family wouldn't hear. But John says screaming and catharsis only works if you upset the neighbors.
Yeah, no, it's like two schools of thought on that. So look, if you got to do it at a pillow at first, but I love just going for it. It freaks people out in the park sometimes, but sometimes people got to be freaked out a little bit. And so look, whatever you do is great. Just do this regularly. I do it every week. You can do it every day. It takes 5 minutes. It's a tool you could have in your tool belt. I guarantee it removes anxiety, depression every single time.
Brian says it feels like he's releasing the demons.
Yeah, no, so true. And you keep that all inside yourself. And I'm telling you, when you relax on the ground, like that's one of my favorite parts is tranquilization.
And we have Stathis says, Ella Brian, how can I get in touch with you?
Okay, well, Stathis, that's a great question, and I might talk about that shortly. So, yeah, I'll talk about exactly how you can get in touch with me now. Yeah?
And, yeah.
Good? Okay, good. So, look, I want to finish up by just saying this, is that look, the physical practices are crucial because the body is the mind. Elliot Hull said this. Ido Portal says this. So I really want you to connect with your body, and that's the way you connect with your mind and start doing great, great things in the world. And look, the truth is that you're here tonight for a reason. You spent the last hour with me now, hour plus, because London Real has spoken to you in the past. You probably know who I am, and you love our core mission and our core values here at London Real to be the best versions of ourselves, to go out there and add value to the world and lead a real human life. You know, how good did you feel during active meditation? Probably the best you felt in a year. I want you to feel like that every single day. But unfortunately, you're probably overweight right now. Maybe you don't have a physical practice. Maybe you're eating bad things and you're not surrounding yourself with people that will do active meditation on a daily basis, that will do a new diet practice, that will start new movement routines and stay on that for a long time. You're looking for someone who can help you master your diet and your health and your fitness. You're looking for someone who can hold you accountable. You're looking for someone who can promise you that you're going to lose 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds in the next 6 weeks. And looking for someone who can keep it going for the next 12 months, who will give you new ideas, new practices to help you go find your passion. I'm not talking about something just to lose weight. I'm talking about a new eating philosophy and a new philosophy for life. But unfortunately, you found that every time you try to start that new diet, you come off of it. Every time you get that gym membership, you know what I'm talking about. You never show up. You get that personal trainer and you go once and you get depressed. You go back and you eat that garbage. You comfort eat. You go back to those sugars and you do all those things. And so there's a few options out there that you've tried, right? You've tried buying the book on the diet. You've tried listening to a new podcast. Maybe you listen to London Real, Ido Portal, but you look in the mirror and you don't look like Ido Portal. Maybe you've tried an expensive meal plan. Maybe you've tried to do this on your own on Google or look at those YouTube videos and doing yoga. But you found out that none of that stuff works and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You can't play with your kids anymore. You can't say yes to that hiking retreat or to that Ironman race that you know you can do. If Brian can do it at 47, how come I can't do it at 37? But you know that you can, but you're looking for the right mentor, the right peer group, the new tribe and accountability system that can make it happen in the next 6 weeks. And that is why tonight I want to talk to you about the London Real Life accelerator. And this is an incredible thing that I do only once or twice per year. And this is a 6-week accountability program. It's a journey where you're going to master the top success secrets of the greatest London Real guests and my own personal 18 high performance habits. And the diet is one of them, the eating philosophy, the movement practice, the active meditation, but there's also a whole lot more. I teach you about a gratitude practice. I teach you how to meditate, and you'll be doing it for 42 days in a row. I teach you how to be grateful, how to have affirmations, how to structure 5 goals and start taking action every single day. I show you how to beat procrastination, how to use what I call the GTD system of getting things done. Then we go in and we actually change that diet quadrant. We go in and change your eating habits for 35 days in a row. Most people lose 15 to 20 pounds, and this is not a diet course because they're taking their brains to a new level. We start doing new movement patterns, and every single day we move our body. And you're going to do new things. You're going to do a jiu-jitsu class. You're going to go climbing. You're going to do yoga. You're going to go dancing. You're going to do new things in your life. Then we're going to go into relationships, and you're going to cut out all the toxic relationships in your life. This is going to allow you to go back into your core values, to find your passion and pursue your purpose. That's what this is all about. It's about developing laser focus and surrounding yourself with a group of like-minded people. And that's what we're doing. I'm teaching 18 high-performance habits. I've got an accountability system that is bulletproof. And you go through this whole course with 150 London Reelers from around the world. We go through it as a tribe. We do these things together. There's accountability. There's a private group where we upload videos and we hold each other accountable. I've found a method of getting a 96% completion rate, which is unheard of anything out there on the internet. Most courses are lucky if they get 10% people to finish. This is for you if you're feeling sluggish, if you have brain fog, if you fight procrastination, if you can't get those goals done and you don't know how. I can guarantee they're getting done in the next 6 weeks, period. And I've learned there's no extraordinary people, just extraordinary habits, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And I do it through a blueprint that I've put out in front of you, and it comes in 6 parts. Module 1 is where we start. And here I'm going to show you how to develop self-awareness to make more effective changes and decisions. Then we're going to calm your emotions, and you're going to gain clarity with meditation. Then I'm going to show you how to manage anxiety and frustration with gratitude and a low media diet. It's absolutely incredible. Then comes module 2. This is how we really get started. Here, I'm going to show you how to capture all of your ideas and make the good ones stick. Then you're going to start taking extreme ownership over the things you can control. Finally, you're going to gain superhuman confidence as you take bold action steps. Module 3 is this: you are what you eat. Now we break down the London Real eating philosophy. You change what you're eating every single day. Now, after you've started this, you're going to start eating mindfully, and you're going to stop all of those horrible eating habits. You're going to lose fat and gain energy every single day with our London Real quadrant eating philosophy. Next, you're going to gain more energy and clarity with your optimal nutrition. And now we're getting warmed up, folks. Now it's time to move or die, because that's the truth. If you don't start a regular movement practice, you will die. Module 4. Now I'm going to teach you how to use powerful breathing techniques that are going to give you a burst of energy and clarity right when you need it. Next, you're going to work muscles that you never knew you had, and you're going to feel 10, 20, and even 30 years younger. Finally, you're going to melt away stress and fear with active meditation. I'm going to get you moving like you never have before. But we're not done yet. Module 5 is all about relationships. Let's be honest, as humans, we're the sum of our total relationships. That's why I'm going to show you how to purge the toxic people in your life. We're going hardcore people, family, friends who aren't adding to the solution. They're part of the problems. We're going to cut them out. Next, we're going to strengthen the top 3 relationships in your life. You're going to reconnect with them and invest in them. And finally, we're going to release the heavy burdens you've been carrying by asking for forgiveness and giving forgiveness to people in your lives. I've recently done this in the Ironman series, facing my past addictions and people that I just screwed over. I asked for forgiveness, and I'm a brand new person because of it. We're all going to do this together in Module 5. It's the hardest one, but it's the one that will change your life forever. But we're not done. Module 6 is where the magic happens. We put it all together, and I help you set 12-month goals that are going to help you achieve new levels of pure fulfillment. You're going to develop resilience and push past your common obstacles, and we're going to make these goals fail-proof through our London Real goal-setting blueprint. I'm going to give you an accountability system for 12 months. I'm going to give you a peer group through of incredible people that are going to be your friends and family for life, and that's really what this is about, folks, is the community. Look, as awesome as I am, as awesome as our philosophy is and our movement patterns and our courses are, which are incredible, the community is where everything happens, because this is a group of 150 people around the world that have invested. They've decided that enough is enough. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're going to take action. You will not be alone in this journey. You're going to be doing it with people all around the world who are going to take action. You're going to move through the course at the same time, and you're going to meet people that are going to become your friends and your collaborators and your business partners. This is what this group looks like. It's a great group of people, and they all come together to win, win, win. I'm telling you, these are people that are going to go on to be future millionaires, people you're going to read about in the newspapers, TED Talks, New York Times bestselling authors. And I have an accountability system that is bulletproof. I call it our triple tier accountability. And it goes like this. On this course, you get 12 hours of live calls, just like this, where we interact with each other. Next, you've got our patented accountability doc. I track every single bit of your progress and every other student, and everyone else can see when you're slacking. And finally, there's 24/7 support with me and my team to answer any question or any problem you've got every minute of the day. And this is the timeline. On Tuesdays and Sundays, we have live calls at 7 p.m. London time. The first call is June 12th on the Tuesday. The last call is July 22nd, where you're going to be a brand new person, probably 15 or 20 pounds lighter, more fit, mean and lean, a low media diet, grateful, amazing goals, incredible relationships. You won't even recognize yourself. We've got an optional graduation ceremony in London. You don't have to be here to take this course. That's July 27th to 29th, and that's what it's all about. Folks, I do this once or twice a year. I take a small group of people. It's like a Navy SEAL boot camp. It's hard work, but the results we get are incredible. People that are your long-term friends and family will say, "What's wrong with you? I've never seen you like this." And that's because this is an investment in your future. And people are saying to me, "Brian, well, how much does it cost?" It's not a cost, it's an investment that's going to return to you 100 or even 1,000 times what you invest. If I told you you could make $1 million, what's that worth for you? That's the kind of thing that this program can do. And when I invested in my MIT education, I didn't ask for the price tag because I knew it would turn me into a millionaire and even more than that. And so the level of this investment in this course is very, very simple. The full price of this course is $1,997. I've got a payment plan where you can join tonight for $197. That's nothing. You can be in the door right now. The premium program, which means you get your very own interview here at London Real Studios, is $3,997. And of course, if you want to join my inner circle of entrepreneurs from around the world that are building 7- and 8-figure businesses, the inner circle payment is $8,997. Again, I've only got a few slots from there. So to join right now and seize this incredible opportunity, this class is going to fill up in the next 24 hours and then it is closed. I am not opening this up again until next year. Follow the link below. There's one in the chat right here and you can go and buy this program. But before you go ahead and do that, let me tell you this. I believe in this program so much. I know that this will work for you. I have 100% certainty that I am offering you right now a 60-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason that you come to my calls and you do the work, that you are not completely 150% fully satisfied, you can have all of your money back, which means you can try this right now for free. Go through this 6 weeks. Get my personal attention, my mentoring, the incredible group, the video modules, the workbooks, everything for free, and try that program out because we leave no man or woman behind here at London Real Academy. I know you're going to get results, and if not, you can have your money back. But there's more. Tonight, as a free bonus, I want to give you something that I taped with Chris Eubank at a special private live event. This is the World Championship boxer, and he's going to teach you all about obsession. I think you can see a slide of this right now. I'm going to teach you how to do a championship mindset, how to become successful in anything, how to overcome fear and self-doubt in order to live up to your full potential, and how to structure your winning future through obsession. It's worth $997, but it's free right now if you buy this program before this masterclass is over. But there's more. As I promised earlier, there's a fast action bonus, which is Philip McKernan, Your Relationship with Money. How many of you can't make money or can't hold on to money because you have a bad relationship with money? So many of us would do. I'm going to show you how to stop sabotaging yourself by using powerful intuition and, of course, rethink your relationship with money. This has a value of $997, free to you right now if you pull the trigger. So let me recap. This is what you get. 6 modules of on-demand video. That's 3 videos for each module. You get lifetime access to the module and the workbook that goes with every module. You get 12 hours of live calls with me and my team. You get 24/7 email support during the course. You get access to the private online community with 150 high-performance people from around the world. You get assigned your very own London Real personal coach. You get a free ticket to the Life Accelerator graduation weekend. You get my bonus with Chris Eubank, Fireside Chat on Obsession. You get the fast action bonus, What's Your Relationship with Money? All of this is for you. But the bigger question is this: who will you become if you pull the trigger and take action and let me personally mentor you for the next 6 months? Well, this is who you will become. You will start to radiate confidence. You will fearlessly take action. You will move your body every single day. You will finally be free from toxic eating habits. You will connect on a deeper level, and you will finally feel alive. And how do you do that? Well, I mentioned the levels of investment earlier. If you would like to get the basic package with everything I said, it's $1,997. And if you want, you can do the payment plan, because I know some people don't have that money. For $197 for 12 months of payment, you can get into this program right now. But if you pay in full and go ahead and pull the trigger for $1,997, I'm going to give you a special bonus that very few people have seen. And this is Dan Pena live at the Ritz. Oh my gosh. Strap on your seatbelt before you hit play on this, because this is 6 hours of the $50 billion man blasting for a private event I had in London. 30 entrepreneurs flew in from around the world, including a billionaire in the room. And Dan Pena teaches you how to just effing do it. Face your fears, pull the trigger, stop making excuses. It's yours free right now if you pull the trigger and pay in full. So let me give you an overview of everything you get tonight when you decide to change your life and join me on the Life Accelerator. You get these things. First of all, you get the Life Accelerator course with video modules and workbooks. You get the live video calls with me and my team. You get Chris Eubank Fireside Chat. You get Dan Pena live at the Ritz if you pay in full. You get Phil McKernan, What's Your Relationship with Money? You get 24/7 email support for 6 weeks. You get lifetime access to this course, the workbook and the community. You get the Business Accelerator graduation ticket. This is a total value of over $15,000. You get all of that tonight. What happens next? You click on the link, you fill out the form and buy, and you'll get your email with the login right now. I'll get you into the private Facebook group. You get to meet me and this incredible people. And don't take my word for it, folks. Here is the word from people that have gone through this course and built incredible lives.
Whilst I knew that it was kind of on the list of things to do in the given week, there was a message that came out that said, right, you've got 3 hours to do it before a call, otherwise you're in trouble, sort of thing. So yeah, that was just really forced me into it. Big resistance, overcame it, but yeah, I was just like overwhelmed with the really positive response I had from everybody. So really glad I did it, but it was tough.
It was tough, but it was, no, that was really the reason why I signed up for it, because I knew that it was going to be held accountable. Because, as I say, I could have put a podcast out myself, but 8 weeks ago, if I had not done this, I would not have a podcast. Even though I know how to do it, I wouldn't have done it.
You get vulnerable, you talk about real things, you have to overcome resistance, you have to take ownership. So I think that's the biggest lesson I learned. I myself, I am responsible for everything that happens in my life. And I hadn't had that before. And I think that that's a really, really big step forward. So yeah, probably I'm not, or I see challenges or I see fear now as a way to grow.
I honestly recommend this. It's been a great experience. Occasionally it was really tough, to be honest. And like I said, I was tired and I got almost a little bit mad about you sending those messages, resistance and extreme owners. But like, who is this guy telling me this stuff? But you were right, and I'm glad. Maybe it's because I'm an ex-athlete or a player. Sometimes I need a coach to push me further, so it was good for me. It helped me out a lot. Your messages, you're tough, man. Those messages, but they really did help me out.
And the accountability is going to continue, and that's another thing that I love about this. You know, it's not just, right, 2 months, done, see you later. It's like, no. We're going to keep you accountable. You're not just going to do 6, 8 episodes and then let it slide. You know, you're going to keep publishing. You're going to fulfill the vision that you had for this right at the beginning. So that for me is really important.
And those are just some of the students that have had an incredible time and changed their life on the Life Accelerator. I'd love to answer any questions you have right now. Again, all of those bonuses will expire at the end of this call, and this course will be closed probably in the next few hours. We've got people signing up all this week. Incredible class from around the world. I think we've got 31 countries represented. This is a special opportunity. It's like a boot camp, and I'm with you every step of the way. I'm showing you my IP. We're doing active meditation together. We're eating the right things. It's just an amazing experience, an amazing peer group. I wanted to answer a few questions that people ask me all the time. They said, first of all, Brian, I don't know if I can afford the Life Accelerator. And I always say, the best investment you can make is to invest in yourself. And I'm reminded when I was 18 years old, I applied to a bunch of colleges. I applied to Stanford and to MIT and a few others. And when I got in, I got the initial price, and it was $14,500. At the time, I didn't have 2 sticks I could rub together. And so the price could have stopped me from doing it. But I knew it was an investment in my future. And so I didn't say, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. I said, I know this is crucial because it will help me earn millions of dollars, which it later did. So I went and I borrowed the money from my grandma, and I borrowed the money from my parents, and I borrowed the money from the government. And I paid that $14,500 every year for 4 years. My first year on Wall Street, I paid it back. So it's about a level of investment. And I always tell people, the first $100,000 you make, don't buy stocks, don't buy bonds, don't buy real estate. And I know, I worked in finance for 15 years. Invest in yourself. You get the greatest return. You will become a better person. This is the chance to invest in yourself. So it's not the cost, it's what you can be. The payment plan I put in place for people that don't have a lot of money, it's $197. If you can't make that payment and you tell me you don't have the money, I don't believe you. I just think you don't want it bad enough. How about do you want a new life? I've had people that take this program, and a month later, they've already got a promotion, they've already started a business because of the techniques I teach. So it's the lowest barrier to entry. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee. Why not try this? Pull the trigger, and I will invest in you. Another question I get from a lot of people, and again, type any questions you have right now, and I'll go back to Julian, is I don't have any time. This one always makes me laugh. I always say, do you have the time it takes to be successful? Do you have the time it takes to make $1 million? One of my students, John McMahon, graduated from my accelerator 14 months ago. He just did a $1.6 million launch on his business that he credits to London Real. Could he afford the class? Did he have time to take the class? In the first week alone, in the low media diet, I'm going to show you how to save 8 to 10 hours a week that you've been wasting on social media, on watching nonsense. I'm going to give you 10 hours back of your time. So do you have the time? Of course you do. What I find is that most people have personal resistance to making these changes. I need 2 to 4 hours a week. Do you not have 30 minutes a day for me? I know you do. That's what this takes, so I think you can make it. The third question I get is, Brian, what time are the live calls? Tuesday and Sunday at 7 o'clock London time. I'm in New York or I'm in LA. I can't make it. If you've missed the call, I upload the entire recorded version in Facebook. You can watch it whenever you want. I would prefer you come to the calls because you get me live blasting. But if you want, you can watch the call later and you have access to the calls in the course for life. I've had people that miss 2 weeks of the course, but they took it anyways because they know that they have potential to grow 10x. It's incredible. That's not a problem as far as if you can't make the live calls. Other people say, Brian, what if I fall behind? It's no problem. You have lifetime access to the workbooks, to the group, and to the peer group. You can take this course whenever you want, so that's no problem. Finally, people say, Brian, what if I don't live in London? That's a funny one. You don't need to be in London. I don't want you to be here. You can be anywhere around the world. I want you to plug in here and plug in from anywhere in 14 different time zones. You come to London only for the optional graduation ceremony, and that is where you're going to meet all of your peers. It's an incredible, incredible ceremony, and it's absolutely incredible. And finally, people say, Brian, how is this different from anything else out there? The truth is the accountability. I will take the Pepsi Challenge against any online course in the world. We are the very best because no one holds you accountable. I will watch you every single week, and if you don't complete every single assignment, I will find you. I will make sure you do it. I will make sure you change your eating habits, your movement habits, and your relationships. The whole tribe will make you change. That's what's incredible about this course. We have engineered an accountability system that works. You will become friends and almost family with these people. You've heard the story. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's absolutely true. Who are you hanging out with right now? I always like this exercise. Take out your phone. Look at your last 5 text messages. No, really, look at them right now. Pull it up right now. Are any of these people millionaires? Are they building businesses? Are they changing the world? Are any of these people negative? Do they tell you you can't be successful? Do they give you negative energy? Are they depressed? Do they bring you down? If you're hanging out with these people, you're never going to get anywhere. I'm talking about connecting you with people who are high performers, who expect you to have a six-pack, who expect you to eat right, who expect you to build businesses. People like me, people like the guests at London Real. That's what I'm offering you. This is priceless. I believe the value of this course is more like $30,000. The time now is to take that. So I want to take some of your questions, and then maybe I'll share with you a couple of the videos from the inside. Julian, what are people asking about this? What are they saying? Again, I believe this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If people are here right now listening to me, it's a sign. You saw a video of London Real. You were attracted to the message. You've spent now almost 2 hours hanging out with me. It means you were meant to be on this course, and yet some fear is holding you back. I've given you the money-back guarantee, the $197. I know you can find a way to come up with that. Beg, borrow, and steal. I know you can do this. This course is the closest thing you have to change your life probably in the next 5 years. I'm telling you, a podcast isn't going to do it. A friend isn't going to do it. A book isn't going to do it. I can do it. If you're here right now, you should pull the trigger. What are people asking?
Martin's asking, what are the dates for the course?
Great question. We start the very first call June 12th. This is a live course. This is not a bunch of videos that you can watch whenever you want. That's what most people try to sell you. This is real life accountability, live calls just like right now. That's what I'm talking about. So it starts a week from Tuesday. We go through this as a team. We all go, you will graduate, and then you will come to London if you want and meet this incredible peer group. So it's June 12th. I think the last call is July 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
Muriel on YouTube is asking, what is the date of the graduation if they do choose to come to London?
Yeah, so we decide to do graduation. The whole event is on us. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm going to show you a video about that right when we're done talking here. It's July 27th to 29th. You come here, you get to come to London Real World headquarters. We have an incredible event here. The next day, I interview people in studio here in the leather chair. You can sit in the same chair as Dan Pena and Ido Portal. That night, we have a graduation dinner on us. You get to hang out with your classmates and me. The next day, we have a walking tour of London. It's optional, but it's going to be probably the best event you've had in your life, if not the whole year. It's incredible.
Ivana asking, can you just recap on the bonuses?
Yeah, so the bonuses, if you pay in full, you get the Dan Pena Live at the Ritz. I mean, this thing alone is worth $2,000. It's an incredible event that I hosted with some entrepreneurs. It's Dan Pena blasting for 6 hours. I've got the Chris Eubank piece on obsession, which is a private piece we had at a private event. And of course, I've got Phil McKernan, Your Relationship with Money. These are incredible bonuses that you need to lock in on right now.
Sylvia's asking, what kind of assignments are there?
So the assignments, I've got 18 high performance habits that I really want you to master. That's what I'm talking about, and I want you to really try to master those things. It's like meditation, gratitude, the entire new eating practice we talked about tonight, movements, relationships, all of that is in there. 18 high performance habits. By the end of the 42 days, you'll be doing these every single day. It's cumulative. You won't recognize who you are.
Paolo's asking, if I can't come to this year's graduation, can I come to a future one?
Yeah, if you lock in the course right now and you can't make that graduation, you can come to any future graduation ceremony. We do them for all of our courses, the Business Accelerator, the Speak to Inspire course, and of course, Broadcast Yourself. So we'll accommodate you.
James is asking, how does it work in terms of helping me figure out where to start and make a, I believe he means plan?
You know, we have a blueprint of exactly what you need to turn yourself into a high-performance person. You know, I've created this through my own trial and error. So you saw module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's a blueprint. I ask you to follow it. By the end of the course, you'll know exactly where you need to go, and you'll structure your next 12 months of goals. I'm telling you, this is absolutely incredible. Don't think, pull the trigger. If you trust London Real, you know me, you trust me, and you trust the brand, now is the time to take action. You're here for a reason. This offer expires soon, so now's the time to do it.
Rad says, I would like to join your course. Do it, Rad. We'll hit that gong.
Rad, pull the course. We got a gong here, and Julian will ring it when anybody here on this webinar decides they want to pull the trigger and join me. In the meantime, I want to show you a video of what happens during our graduation ceremony on the weekends.
Like I was a mess, falling apart. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I pulled the trigger and signed up. I had to.
This course has just changed everything for me.
Who knows what life will look like in a year from now for each of us?
All right, London Reelers, welcome to London. Let me hear some roar here. Tonight, I'm pumped. We got the Midnight Run folks with us. We got glow sticks, we got music.
This is the first time we've ever seen each other in 3D. The first live call, and I saw all these people. It was so inspiring.
I loved being able to connect with people all over the world.
They're my family. They have become my family. We're all extensions of each other.
Everybody's helping each other. Everybody's holding each other accountable. You can do so much more than you ever thought.
Just now, like, my team asked me, how do you feel? And I said, I feel home. This is home for me.
What's beautiful about this process is if I'd had a way out, I'd have got out. But I couldn't let that lot down. I couldn't let my team down.
Do not stop, because this is just the beginning right now.
Please stay vulnerable. When you hit rock bottom, reach out. You have all the support you need. Thank you.
So I just want you to congratulate yourselves for all the hard work you put in, for making it to London, for connecting with everyone here. You know, the graduation weekend is worth the price alone. I mean, it's hard to explain, but once you go through these 6 weeks, it's going to be challenging for you. You're going to be doing things out of your comfort zone, but you're going to improve so much, and you're going to make these incredible relationships with these people around the world that will be friends for life. They might be your business partners. They might be your mentors. I had two students, John McMahon and Michael Skye, who met on graduation weekend and created a business called I Thrive. They just did a $1.6 million launch 2 months ago. That's because of the ceremony itself, the graduation weekend. So it's absolutely amazing. It's really worth coming for that. So I just want to answer our last few questions for anybody and wrap this up. Again, all of those fast action bonuses are only good while we're here on the masterclass, so they go away. This class will fill up. It always fills up. I always get people that come to me on Friday night and say, Brian, can I get in on the course? And I've said it's full. The thing is once we fill up, I stop the course because I only have enough team leaders for a certain number of students. So that's how we do it. What are people asking?
Leah says, what's stopping her is financial fear, Brian. She says that she's paid for courses in the past that are promising similar things here, and she's failed. She's not blaming the courses, but she doesn't know that this course is the one that's going to get her past her shit. She says, the fear is real here, Brian. Yeah. She's stressed. Please help me think this through.
Look, Leah, I totally hear you. And I've had people that bought my course and then later said, Brian, I spent $100,000 online, and that's what this course was worth. I wish I would have spent it with you. And I say, yeah, I wish you would have as well. And so the truth is that I know a lot of people have wasted money online because no one delivers accountability. That's the difference. And so look, if you go to the page londonreal.tv/life, you'll see testimonials from 15 or 20 people. If you go to London Real and type in YouTube testimonials, you'll see hundreds of them. But the deal is this, I don't want you to do that because you can research this to death and everyone will tell you it's amazing. But the truth is this comes down to your personal decision. And it's a fear that's very real. And the one problem I see, Leah, a lot of people having is this, is that they value their money and they're very frugal with that, but they're not frugal with their time. And so you've just spent the last 2 hours with me. Probably before that, you've spent another 3 or 4 hours, or maybe even more, reading my emails, watching London Real episodes. You probably spent 10 hours with me. Now, at a basic level of minimum wage, you could have paid for the payment plan to start. And yet everyone is super frugal with their money, but you've just wasted 10 hours you can't get back. And so I find that people don't really think about time. I'm all about saving time. I will pay any amount of money if I can do something faster. I'm going to show you how to get a high-performance life that could take you 2 years, 3 years, or maybe your whole life to figure out. I'm going to compress it in 6 weeks. And I'm there to do it for you for $197, and I'm going to give you actionable information on how to do it. And so that's really what I'm talking about, a money-back guarantee, and I'm asking you to pull the trigger and spend that $197 and start on this journey. At some point, you have to take a deep breath and pull the trigger. And I know that whatever happened in your past with whatever you spent, you need to go ahead and move forward. Do you trust London Real? I've been here for 7 years. I've interviewed 500 of the most high-performance people in the world. They've invited me into their homes. I've done documentary films with them. I've graduated over 1,000 students. You can see their testimonials. At some point, you have to pull the trigger. Your fear is making you play small. The truth is, you're not in fear of spending money. You're in fear of becoming great. That's what it is. And your monkey brain is trying to protect you because it thinks that you're going to do something scary that's going to hurt your self-esteem. What you're really going to do is you're going to go big. Trust me, trust the process. You got the money back guarantee. Stop playing small. It's not serving you. You know, they say the definition of insanity is repeating the same behavior and expecting a different result. If you don't pull the trigger tonight, I guarantee it's going to be more fear, more depression, more blah, blah, blah. If you pull the trigger tonight, it's probably the only chance you have this year to go 10x in your life. And that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I truly believe if you're here, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Someone said, no, Brian, I can do this next year. Honestly, you'll be probably in a worse place next year, right? Honestly, I might only be teaching this course to high-performance corporate people that pay 100 grand next year. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Pull the trigger.
Someone did just that.
And that's someone who honestly went into those fears. And that's what I'm asking you to do. The longest journey begins with a single step. At some point, you've got to say, I trust Brian Rose and London Real. I'm going to click the link, put my name in, and then pull out the credit card and just go, oh, I'm in. And once you're in, you'll find your life already starts to change. Who was that?
That was Jacob.
Jacob just pulled the trigger. Jacob, welcome. I think I saw Jacob on a live call yesterday. I think Jacob might be in our tribe. Jacob had the same fears. I talked to him on Tuesday. But the truth is that all of those great moments in your life, right? Whether you went up and asked that girl out, or you went for that big job interview, or you went away to school, they all came that moment where you said, you know what? What the F? I'm just going to do it, you know? And that's one of these moments right now. Trust the process. Pull up those big boy pants or those big girl pants and say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being a loser. I'm sick and tired of looking in the mirror at that fat, ugly, you know, low-performing self that always gives me excuses. I want to be a high-performance person. I want to be someone that my kids can be proud of, that my wife or husband can finally be proud of, that I can be proud of when I go to the grave, that I went forward in life. That's what I'm talking about. Pull the trigger. Seriously, make it happen. Don't give me all the excuses. You know, you've been giving yourself excuses. Now's the time.
Brad says, I'm wondering how it would work for someone like me. I'm very shy and introverted.
Look, welcome to the club. I'm shy and introverted. Most people on YouTube are actually shy and introverted. It's true. You can actually engineer that out of yourself. I love introversion. After this, I'm going to go home and I'm going to be alone. That's what I prefer. Some people like being in front of people, but I engineered it out. The truth is you can't lead a fulfilling life without other people. We need each other to survive. So let me work with you. I'm going to introduce you to this great peer group. They're going to get you out of your shell. You're going to have them for energy. Trust me in the process. Look at my first videos. Go back, October 2011. I'm introverted. I'm going to show you how to get out of that. Changing their life, these people. Who's that?
Sylvia.
Sylvia just pulled the trigger, but why are you any different than Sylvia? The crazy thing is this. In 6 weeks, I'm going to interview Sylvia right here in the studio. And I'm going to live stream her interview on Facebook. And you're going to look at her and say, wow, I wish I was her. And you're going to be one of those people that decided that they weren't going to spend the money because they thought it was super precious. The truth is this. Money comes and money goes. Money comes and money goes. Now is the time to pull the trigger and spend a tiny bit of money that's going to change your life forever. That's what we're talking about here. That's really it.
Mark says, like what I'm hearing, Brian, what about age though? He says, I know it's probably a stupid question. He says he's 56. Do you have any older clients or are they mostly in their 30s?
Look, I'm 47. This is the truth. I just graduated an 81-year-old guy. His name is Bob Hand. He lives in Brazil. You can look him up online. He's an American. I just graduated him from my academy. I graduated a 14-year-old girl. I graduated people in their 70s, their 60s, their 50s. The truth is you're going to be also hanging out with people in their 20s and 30s. They're going to give you energy. I love hanging out with people older than me and younger than me. We do it all as a team. The truth is, stop with your excuses, you know? Honestly, I always say this to people try this exercise. You're 56 right now. Do this for me right now. Take out your phone and call up the 66-year-old Mark. Is that it? Mark. Call up the 66-year-old Mark and tell him that you're too old to start a movement practice. Tell him that you're too old to start a business. Tell him you're too old to start a new relationship. The 66-year-old is going to look at you and say, Mark, do you know what I would give to be 10 years younger? To be 56 again? To be young and spry and have my whole life ahead of me? I would pay $1 million to be that guy right now. How fucking dare you say that you're too old? Stop playing small. Stop being a little girl about things. Get out there and move. Get out there and communicate with people. Get out there and do something. Stop giving yourself excuses and playing small. That's what all of you can say. I'm telling you, the 66-year-old is going to say, look at how young you are. If I could talk to the 37-year-old Brian Rose, I'd be saying, how come you haven't done 10 Ironmans by now? Seriously, these are little tiny excuses for you playing small because you live in fear. Fear is that, false expectations appearing real. There are these phantoms that you put around yourself that cause you to play small. Go big. Life is there to be taken advantage of. Take a big bite out of it. You know, that's what this is all about. That's what we teach in this course. Come on.
It's Rad.
Come on.
Rad pulled the trigger.
Brad.
Rad.
Oh, Rad pulled the trigger. Look at you. Again, you're one step away. I mean, it's so simple, right? All you got to do is go into your wallet, right? Pull this thing out. Honestly, how much money have you spent over your life? $100,000, $1 million. What did you spend it on? I mean, honestly, a night out with pints for your buddies is the price to get in this course. A dinner out with your wife. You're going to forget that. This course will change your life forever. Type your name in. Type in those 16 numbers and take a deep breath and go bam. Honestly, you're going to feel your life change right then because you're going to know for the first time in your life you're taking action. I'm going to hold you accountable. Seriously, I'm coming into your brain. I'm coming into your computer. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to shake you. I'm going to make you move. I'm going to watch what you eat. And when you screw up, I'm going to come in there and say, Rad, in front of a live call, I'm going to say, what's wrong with you? Why are you wasting my time in week 2? I don't see your video. You don't understand. When it comes to accountability, I'm old school, baby. I'm gangster. I'm seriously going to come at you. I'm going to drag you across the goal line kicking and screaming. That's why my program is different than anybody else there. What was that woman earlier that said, look, I've had people that spent $100,000 before with other people. They spent $2,000 on this program, their life changes like that because I don't play around. When you spend your money with me, that's when I get warmed up. That's why we're unlike anything else out there. But honestly, I've got the track record to prove it. I've graduated over 1,000 people. Look at their testimonial videos on London. London Real Testimonial. You'll see hundreds. But honestly, don't go watch more videos. Don't go watch more podcasts. Don't read more books. Please, don't do that. Pull the trigger. Put those credit card details in, and let's do this. That's what I'm talking about.
Someone else just pulled that trigger.
This is what we do all day long. Bales is gone, gone, gone. We're closing this class probably in the next hour.
Paolo there, he says, just pulled the trigger. To pay for it, he's going to have to stop smoking and drinking Coca-Cola.
Oh my gosh, perfect, right? Paolo, 2 birds with 1 stone. Honestly, you stop drinking and smoking, right there, that's enough money, right? That'll probably save you $100 a week. Boom, you just made for the payment. I'm telling you, folks, this is the best decision you'll ever make of your life. If you're still here listening to me after 2 hours, you know you want to do this. You're here for a reason. Don't give me the money excuse. If you want this bad enough, which means do you want to live? Do you want to look decent in the mirror? Do you want to take your life to the next level? Beg, borrow, or steal. Call up a friend and say, I need those credit card details. Do it right now. Text them. Say, I'll get you back. You know, I'll do whatever you want. I'll clean your house, whatever you got to do. This is the closest you'll be. Don't overthink it. Don't research it to death. What does Dan Pena say?
Research.
Research is procrastination in disguise. That's why I say don't go to my website now and read through module 1, module 2. What's your gut feel? Is this the right thing to do? Yes, pull the trigger, period. If it's not, stop watching me right now. Seriously, go away. Stop wasting my time and your time. If this feels right, if Brian Rose feels right, London Real feels right, pull the trigger. That's it. You know, high performance people, what do I say? Make decisions based on imperfect information. That's what makes a high performance person. Elon Musk, when he sends a rocket that's soon going to go to Mars, do you think he goes in and says, oh, I don't know what people are going to say if it crashes. They might say that I'm no good. No, he pulls the trigger, right? When he goes to make an electric car and go up against General Motors and Ford and Toyota, do you think he says, I wonder if people are going to think I'm... No, he pulls the trigger. Do you think Dan Pena thinks about things and goes into a spread? No, he pulls the trigger. Ido Portal pulls the trigger. That's what you need to do. Make a decision now. Gut feel right now. I'm seriously, for everybody who's still on this call, make a decision right now. Either close the browser or say, is this the right thing for me? Will Brian Rose deliver 10x in my life? Will I really see a noticeable change? And if not, will I get my money back? If yes, pull the trigger. Click on the link, put your name in, 16-digit, email address, bam. You go into the private Facebook group. You meet this incredible group of peers that are unlike all the losers in your life right now, right? Mom and dad who say, I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. Don't spend more money on the internet. You might become great. All of your friends that want you to go to the pub. Hey, let's go get a pizza. You know, let's go do some drugs. That'll be fun, right? Oh, we go to our 9-to-5 job and then we just get fucked up on weekends and we watch football games. Is that your life? No. You're destined for something greater. Hang out with people that are doing things with their life, yeah? Real high-performance people, like the guests on London Real that you love. That's what I'm offering you right now. You're literally one pull away. Trust the process, take a deep breath, and go for it.
Question here from Lewis. He's asking, how many hours a week does this involve?
Great question. I'm asking for 30 minutes a day, 2 to 4 hours per week. The truth is, I'm going to give you 8 to 10 hours back in the first week. With the low media diet, the meditation practice, and the gratitude, you're going to find all of a sudden I've got about 8 to 10 hours per week extra. That's how much time you're wasting on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, news sites, all of this nonsense that we're cutting out for 6 weeks. So the truth is you're going to actually have more time than ever, which is the key to this course. I'm telling you, like the more I talk about this, this is the biggest no-brainer that's ever happened to you in your life. This thing is money in the bank, literally. And again, Dan Pena always says we have 2 accounts, the emotional bank account and the financial bank account. If you want to make money, you have to get the emotional bank account right. Once that happens, money flows into your life. So many people try to make money first and it doesn't happen. Get your mind right and your body right, everything else will flow. Seriously, you'll find beautiful men and women joining your life, amazing friends. You're hanging out with people that used to be your heroes. That's what I'm talking about, folks. You have a body that's incredible and functional. You're making an impact on the world. That's what this course is out. That's why I call it the Life Accelerator. Yeah?
Simple question here from Banny. Do I need to actually be in London?
You know, you don't need to be in London. As a matter of fact, I prefer if you're not in London. I prefer if you're in Los Angeles, in New York, and Brazil. We are strong from a peer group from around the world. That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I want. You come to London only for the optional graduation. And look, while I'm on this note, I would love for you to hear from a few of our graduates. These are, again, more people that have graduated, that are crushing it in life. I want you to hear from these people. Then I want to come back and answer a few questions for you. And for people that are on social media, first of all, why haven't you pulled the trigger?
It's hard to explain. So how can you build a virtual family and try to fit in? It was amazing. The first live call, and I saw all these people. It was so inspiring to think, okay, there's people around the world that want to do exactly the same thing as me. And we're going to be learning this together. We're in this together.
I just saw a lot of people in the course had the same issues. So it was just like, you could see, he's also telling about this, and he is having resistance too, and he pushed through it too, and why shouldn't I be able to do this?
70 people around the world.
That was phenomenal, because from literally strangers to within a couple of weeks, it was 60 plus 70 people, and it became like a little family. Or, you know, it was a support network straight away, and I loved being able to connect with people all over the world. They were championing your work from day one.
I have experienced this before in my lifetime. I have been in the corporate world. I have also known what a magic team is like. And the fantastic thing when you get to that point where everybody's helping each other, everybody's holding each other accountable, is that you can do so much more than you ever thought. The result of the work is fantastic.
It was just so warm right at the beginning. It felt like people are really, even though they had their own issues and struggling with maybe the tasks, but everyone, it felt like are really ready to help each other. So it kind of felt pretty much right away as a sort of a family, and very close sort of, well, family is the right word, I think.
The program is interesting because it's this nice mix of digital products that you can go back to anytime, but then there's the element of the live calls and the Facebook messaging and the community, now real life interaction. So it's this really multi-dimensional experience, and it's frankly, it's just delightful.
I can't get enough of watching these people. You know, when I see these success stories, and it's amazing because on graduation, I sit down here in the studio and talk to 15, 20 people, and like each one of them changed their life in such a big way. They're better parents. Their wives and husbands are like, wow, I've never been in love with you so much. All of their colleagues at the office are like, wow, something's different about you. Your energy's amazing. You know, you're taking ownership of your life. It's just, I just love watching it. And you know, the crazy thing is that we do this kind of a live interaction twice a week. I actually use a software called Zoom, which is an interactive video and audio software where I get to talk to the people and give them feedback on their movement and their diet and their ownership and their goals. So what I think we'll do is this is a weird webinar software where I can't actually talk to you and see you. So what I'll do is I'll give you a taste of what that live software is like and just bounce to this right afterwards. I'll answer questions for about 10 minutes, and then I got to go home and invest in my relationships so I can do this stuff and see Mariana and the boys. So if you want to go see me on the Zoom software, it's londonreal.tv/Zoom, Z-O-O-M. Just say hi, tell me who you are, ask a question, and I'll see you there after that. But before we do that, any final questions for people? And then I just want to wrap this thing up.
Marcin asking here, is there any other payment methods? Can he use credit card or bank transfer?
Great question. So credit card's the quickest way, or debit card. And if you don't have one, get a friend that has one and pay them back in cash or whatever. It's 16 digits and expiry date, and you're in. Again, if you lock that spot in tonight, I'll give you the bonuses. If for some reason your card is rejected, we see you in there, and I'll hold your bonuses. If you can't do full payment tonight, do the payment plan and lock it in. You can upgrade to full later and get all the bonuses. That's no problem. You can use PayPal if you want. We have a link on the page. You can use Bitcoin if you want. Just go to the payment page, and there'll be a chat box there and say, hi, I'd like to pay in Bitcoin, and we'll give you the QR code reader, and you can just send us the payment. So anything you want, we can do, but honestly, don't let that be an excuse. A lot of people look for excuses. I'm too old, I'm too out of shape, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have a credit. Come on, if you really want this, just make it happen. Take ownership in your life. You got a next door neighbor, you got a mom or a friend, text them and say, I need your card. I'll tell you why later. I'll pay you back in a week. I'll do your dishes and do your laundry, but I got to do this because there's something about this guy and this team and this movement, and he's doing something special, and I know this is going to change my life. That's what we're talking about here. So that's the payment plan option. Any other questions? Good, we got those? Okay, good. Let me just wrap this up and just say this. You know, you've spent the last 2 hours with me, you know, which is crazy. You've seen, you know, this medal that I was kind of dallying around before. I got this 10 days ago in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm actually making a movie about this process. And I'm 47 years old. I took a challenge to run an Ironman race. You know, the single most brutal, the most difficult single day endurance event in the world. I did it on a plant-based diet, which was new to me. And I did it with, you know, 2 kids, with an incredible movement and business that we're running. And I did it because I had my life right. And I'm super proud of this. And like I said, we're making a movie about it. You can watch it soon. And the reason I was able to do it is because I had my life straightened out. And I'll be honest with you, I had points in my life where it wasn't straightened out. And in this series called Iron Mind, I talk about my struggles with addiction in the past, even an overdose I had in 2001. And I was depressed, I was an alcoholic, I wasn't always this good. It took me a lot of learning to get here, but I learned from amazing high-performance people. I practice these habits every day, and I chose the ones that really work, like not just because they sold a book or because I watched a video. I did them in my everyday life. And I'm here to teach them to you for the next 6 weeks and to make sure you do them. There is nothing like this in the world. And like I said, I'll take the Pepsi Challenge against anything out there, any live event, any online accountability course, anything, because I get results. That's why 96% of my students pass. That's why you see these gushing testimonials, because I change people's lives. That's really the truth. This is an incredible opportunity that you have right now. I believe this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you're watching me now, there won't be another chance. Your life will change, probably for the worse. I know how this works. It works and it just gets worse and worse and worse. You don't move, you get more depressed, you don't start the business, your relationships get worse. It just is a spiraling circuit down. Try it now. Trust me and trust the process. Take the payment plan, take the money-back guarantee. Try me out for 6 weeks. I'm like this all the time. My energy is infectious, and I'm giving you that chance. Who's your peer group right now? Who are you really hanging out with? Look at those friends and relatives. Are they building million-dollar businesses? Are they six-pack and shredded? Are they making intelligent, diet choices? Are they pushing the limit? Are they New York Times best-selling authors? Are they doing TED Talks? Are they doing incredible things? Probably not. I want to introduce those people to you. So here's a link now. Pull the trigger, make it happen. I'll give you the bonuses if you do it in the next 15 minutes. And so right now I'm going to the Zoom software. Check me out, londonreal.tv/Zoom, Z-O-O-M. Say hi for about 10 minutes. And in the meantime, here's a video that tells you a little bit more about the Life Accelerator. Thanks so much for your time tonight. It's an honor to be able to teach you. Pull the trigger, put these practices in, and go live an incredible life. It's your duty, as a living human being to do that. Add value to others, and just be great. That's what I want for you. Thank you so much.
Think back to when you were a child, how happy, excited, and alive you felt. Like all kids, you had a spark of life that radiated from you. Is it still there? If it's been smothered over time, this video will show you how to get it back. The unfortunate truth is most of us lose this fire, and we slowly drift into a life of mediocrity. A job that's just okay. A body that you keep telling yourself you'll fix. And a nagging sense that you're not living according to your life's purpose. You feel like there must be more, but somehow you keep falling short of your expectations, goals, and dreams. Well, what if there was a way to rekindle that life inside you? To get your swagger back? To feel confident, charged up, and alive, and finally become the passionate, high-achieving badass you know you can be. It can be done, in less than 6 weeks in fact. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how. I'm Brian Rose, founder and host of London Real. Each week, I'm lucky enough to meet and interview some of the most fascinating people on the planet, who are already living their dream lives. And guess what? They are no different to you or me. They're not superhuman, but there's one thing they get right: their habits. The only thing that makes a best-selling author or a billionaire investor or an Olympic champion is they have habits to keep them on track. The truth is, there are no extraordinary people, only extraordinary habits. Are your habits allowing you to live an inspiring life? Or are they keeping you trapped in a life of mediocrity? So many of us dream of building a better lives for ourselves. The crazy thing is, we pretty much know how to do it. A healthy diet, strong relationships, and unstoppable mindset. And there are all kinds of resources we can use to get there. But no matter how many self-help books we read, not much changes. If anything, we feel worse. We beat ourselves up for learning all this stuff, but not using it. But the problem isn't you. Believe it or not, it's not because you lack focus, desire, or you're broken. It's your environment. Think about the last time you decided to make a big life change. Maybe it was to get in shape, meditate, start a business, whatever it was. You probably tried adopting a good habit. But who was there to make sure you stuck with it? Who kept you accountable? Who called you on your excuses? Who pushed you farther than you thought you could go by believing in you? Most people don't have anyone like that. No coach, no mentor, no community. It's no wonder you couldn't stick with it. You were set up to fail from the beginning. Motivation and willpower isn't enough to keep most people going. If you want to make serious life change, remember this. Changing your life starts by changing your environment. That means first knowing what habits are best for you personally. Then having an environment in place that makes it easy to adopt those winning habits. Only then can you see real, lasting change. Today, I'll show you a way to create that environment so you can eliminate procrastination from your life, master your health, mind, body, and relationships, and finally start living up to your full potential. Today, I'm going to offer you the proven blueprint for becoming the best version of yourself. You'll see how to take the practices you tell yourself you should be doing and make them a part of you. Even if you procrastinate, even if you have low motivation, even if you feel lost, frustrated, and don't know what to do with your life. Here is your chance to make this the year you finally stop daydreaming about the life you want and start making it a reality. I'm extremely excited to introduce our Life Accelerator, the groundbreaking mentorship program where I arm you with the high-performance habits practiced by the very best in the world. You'll learn the top 18 success secrets from London Real's most inspiring guests. They'll help you master your relationships, career, mindset, health, and impact. This is all stuff I do regularly and swear by. Best of all, my senior coaches and I will be with you every step of the way. We will get on the phone with you multiple times a week and hold you accountable and keep you moving forward no matter what. You'll even have a small, intimate group of incredible people in the program with you. London Realers dedicated to becoming the best versions of themselves. We'll all adopt these practices together, support each other, and have a hell of a good time doing it. I will teach you how to reprogram yourself so that your success becomes inevitable and you finally start living a life of action and purpose. You will engineer your own success by learning how to master your emotions and thoughts, build your confidence and motivation, upgrade your nutrition, health, and energy, beef up your fitness or movement practice, connect deeper with your inner circle, create a compelling future game plan, and crush your goals. I will give you the tools practiced by the world's top performers, which, combined with our No Man or Woman Left Behind accountability system, will transform your life over the course of the next 6 weeks. But I should warn you, this course requires a break from your old habits. Joining us means you will take massive action. You will not just passively watch content. You will step out of your comfort zone and accomplish incredible things. For 6 years, I've learned hundreds of success habits from the greatest minds on London Real, and I've tried them all. Some were tough to stick with, or didn't lead to drastic change. For this course, we only focused on the few that made the biggest impact. What we put inside the Life Accelerator course is the best of the best, the creme de la creme, all condensed into one action-packed accountability course. I'll walk you through them all in a moment, but first, it's important you understand how profound mastering just one of these can be. Here's a quick example from my own life. You see, I spent years telling myself I should meditate. At first, I just thought it would help me calm my mind. But once I started doing it, something incredible happened. I started getting in touch with my emotions again. I became an observer of my mind and learned how to master my thoughts. On a subconscious level, I realized that my money is everything philosophy, developed in the banking world, was no longer serving me. 3 months later, I walked into work and resigned my position of 10 years. I walked out of the building in a state of shock, not knowing what would come next or where my life would lead me. That change gave my mind time to breathe, and 6 months later, I would start a brand new journey and broadcast my first episode of London Real. Over the next 5 years, I would sit down for over 1,000 hours with the greatest minds in the world. I learned so much from these people, and their ideas started rubbing off on me. I talked to top athletes and started taking my eating behavior seriously. A few counterintuitive tweaks to my diet made my energy levels shoot up. Guys like Jocko Willink instilled the idea of taking extreme ownership, and that I alone was responsible for all the outcomes in my life. He taught me to stop making excuses and just get it done. People like Ido Portal taught me how to move again. I adopted a new movement practice and felt 10 years younger. Not only that, all of a sudden I started waking up feeling refreshed with a clear mind. Most importantly, I was providing value to others. Instead of waking up and thinking about how much value I could extract from the world, I put all my energy into pumping as much value into the world. Now I understood what it took to be successful and enjoy the good life too. All because I started taking on the right habits. Does that sound like a life you want to live? Then I have good news for you. It is possible, and I will show you how. Here's a deeper breakdown of everything you get in the Life Accelerator course. Module 1, Master the Mind. You will start by learning how to understand and trust your intuition. I will show you how to deep dive into yourself using the practice that sparked London Real, meditation. Next, we will explore the profound impact gratitude had on my life and how you can practice it using a simple tool. Lastly, you will clear your head by going on a low media diet. This not only clears your head, it clears your schedule. It can free up a ton of time. You'll be amazed how many hours open up every week when you don't get sucked into useless distractions. This will set you up for week 2, where I will show you how I brought London Real to the next level by taking control of my mindset and how you can do the same with your life. Module 2, Hone Your Mindset. Now you are going to prepare yourself for peak performance. You will not just set goals, but actually attain them by learning how to fearlessly execute like Dan Pena using affirmations. We will delve into the psychology of procrastination and how to conquer it using the GTD mindset, a technique our entire team uses for getting things done fast. Finally, I go deep on how extreme ownership impacted my life and changed the course of London Real, and how you can implement it for maximum results. Module 3, You Are What You Eat. In this module, we're going to focus on habits, not diets. The goal of this module is to spot toxic eating behavior, introduce new healthy changes, and transform them into lasting habits. Your energy levels will soar. And many members lose 15 pounds or more in the 6 weeks. And this isn't even a weight loss course. If you want to get fit and like what you see when you look in the mirror, diet is key. It's even more important than exercise if you want to look great. Module 4, Move or Die. Movement is essential when it comes to happiness, creativity, and longevity. Sometimes we suffer from a bad day, a negative state of mind, or even depression. The way to clear out your head, oddly enough, is by getting out of your head. Therefore, this week will be all about finding a movement practice that fits your lifestyle. Then, you'll learn how to handle any situation on demand by mastering your breathing. Oh, and we're going to be doing an active meditation worldwide workout on our live call together. This can help you melt away stress and fear and instantly step you into a calm yet alive state. Are you in? Module 5, strengthen your inner circle. If one of my top 3 relationships are not doing well, I am not doing well. I believe we all crave some form of deep connection inside, but many of us take our loved ones for granted, when actually they're our biggest source of happiness, energy, and fulfillment. That is why we're dedicating a whole week to exploring our relationships. You will learn how to connect on a deeper level than ever before. You will also practice forgiveness, which I guarantee by the end of the week will create surprising results for you. Module 6, plan your winning future. This is it. We've arrived at the last module, but this is only the start of your new life of achievement and purpose. Here, you revisit your learnings, pick the concepts that work for you, and set up a 12-month roadmap in the same way Dorian Yates meticulously planned his Mr. Olympia victories. Next, I will introduce you to the Stoic thinking that changed my life and how you can use it to take your future to the next level. Finally, I share why I started London Real, the biggest reason it's so successful, and how you can apply the same mindset to your life. You will get lifetime access to all of these modules, so anytime you fall behind, you can go back and check out these lessons. And that's not all. To guarantee results, I'm introducing the Leave No Man or Woman Behind Accountability Protocol. Imagine what it'd be like if you were surrounded by a group of brothers and sisters who literally will not let you fail. We've created a 3-tiered accountability protocol to install the safety net and scaffolding that guarantees you don't slip up while implementing the program. Here's what it includes. Real accountability number 1, 12 hours of live video calls. First, we have 2 1-hour calls a week for 6 weeks. That's 12 hours of direct accountability. I'll get on the video call with you and the rest of the Life Accelerator community every week throughout the course. There, I'll help you through that week's material and make sure you're not falling behind. All calls are recorded, so if you can't make one, no problem. You can catch up the next day. You'll also have your own mini mastermind group during that time. These are small group calls led by one of my hand-selected coaches. They're a great place to ask questions and get feedback. They'll also hold your feet to the fire and make sure you get stuff done. After the 6 weeks are through, you'll continue doing monthly mastermind calls with your small group, minus the coach, for the next 12 months, so you can support each other through your entire journey. Real accountability number 2, private Facebook group. Here you will post your picture and video assignments and connect with the rest of the class in real time in order to stay inspired and accountable. You'll also have the chance to get feedback, ask questions, pitch ideas, and network. My team and I will even be in there, mixing it up to give you extra guidance and one-on-one support. If nothing else, it'll help make the journey a ton of fun. Real accountability number 3, 24/7 email support. Consider this your bat line. Anytime you feel yourself losing traction, hit us up and my team and I will make sure you get through any hurdles or obstacles that threaten your success in the program. To finish it off, I'm also inviting you to a 2-day graduation event right here in London. Join me for 2 days of learning and celebration in London to meet your classmates, go deeper on the course material, and crystallize your plans to crush 2018, including drinks at London Real Studios, a celebration dinner on Saturday night, active meditation in Hampstead Heath, and a walking tour of London with the team. This event is optional. You don't need to attend in order to complete the course. This course will be massively oversubscribed, so lock in your space as soon as possible, as I will disable this page as soon as the class is full. Let me show you how it changed the lives of our Life Accelerator graduates.
You can't transform people and organizations in a meaningful way unless they've really established their identity and know that significant change is possible. And that's where the accelerator is so critical. And I don't think anybody does it better than you guys do, and I really mean that.
How many programs out there really focus on you, on really getting your mindset right, getting your internal stuff, really removing all those blockages, any hang-ups that you've had in your past, anything that you feel is holding you back? I haven't seen any program that really tackles these issues all in one, and also with a peer group that holds you accountable and very supportive.
It's different from watching a YouTube channel where you can say, well, I can come back to this anytime. No, you've paid good money for it, you've got all of this support, and you've got people holding you accountable. It actually gets done. That's the difference.
A lot of the things between all the modules and the people and the comments on Facebook and connections, that things that start to come out, fears and things that motivate us, feelings, and putting all this together in this last module and this 3-hour walk that we do at the end was tough, but made me see so many things. Pretty amazing.
You've got to explore yourself, and this will do that for you. You will explore, and you might not know what's going to come out at the end of it, but you will. I think you will be a better person for it.
Whatever stage you're in at life, there's always room for improvement. And so you could already have achieved, success by society's standards, but there's always room to grow. And I think this course will actually give you what you need.
I had what I term in our programs residual reluctance. That little bit that was just holding you back from going 100%. And having watched you over the years, I had the sense that, this experience would release that. And in fact, that it did.
Now, I won't promise that in 6 weeks, I can solve all of the challenges in your life. I am teaching you a specific set of high-performance habits, and they will take time to master, implement, and assimilate. But without these specific tools, the likelihood of you ever affecting real change is low. I know, because I tried to go it alone, and it's nearly impossible. How many books, blogs, and podcasts have you consumed trying to figure this out? And where did it get you? The truth is, very few people have the entire blueprint of knowledge that addresses all aspects of your life. But because of the breadth of guests I've had in this studio for the past 6 years, we do. This course is built on 3 pillars: mentorship, accountability, and feedback. After graduating over 500 students from our accelerator programs, we understand how to make people accountable. Through our trademark Keynote Workshop live call system and accountability documents, we make sure you effect the necessary changes in your life. And what can I say? Our results speak for themselves. Throughout this process, you will be mentored by myself and our team leaders to make sure you are on the right path. We're going to be on those live calls with you. You're going to be posting your work in our private Facebook group, and you will have us constantly pushing you to be the very best and achieve results. Finally, there is feedback. The entire class, myself and your team leaders will be giving you critical advice on your mindset, your diet, your movement practice, your affirmations, your inner circle of relationships, and your roadmap for the future. So what's the minimum level of investment? You can get the entire course today for just $1,997. And if money is tight, you can spread that out over 12 months. Meaning you can get started today for only $197. But if you pay the course in full today, you will get these 2 extra bonuses on top. Bonus number 1, Dan Pena live at the Ritz in London. This is a value of $1,997. Watch the $50 billion man and high-performance executive Dan Pena teach a group of elite executives the secrets of how to get comfortable taking risks, increase your emotional bank account so the financial bank account will follow, face your fears, crush your self-doubts, and just effing do it. Bonus number 2, live video goal-setting kickoff call with me. Here, I kick off your Life Accelerator experience with a video call, showing you how to adopt a winning mindset from day 1 and crush your goals, how I get things done, and 3 simple tools to beat procrastination, the 5 key habits to my daily success, and how to 10x your Life Accelerator experience. We also have the premium package, where you receive everything from the standard package, plus an extra one-on-one video call with me, my private email and Facebook chat for course advice during the entire 6 weeks, and the big one, you get to smell the leather with your own one-on-one interview at London Real Studios, sitting in the chair opposite me. And lastly, for people who want to go all in, I'm offering the Inner Circle package, where I will personally mentor you for 6 months after the course is complete. Not only that, you will get access to my Inner Circle, an exclusive group of driven entrepreneurs who are hungry to make a change and take their lives to the next level. As I said before, this course will be massively oversubscribed, and we only have a limited number of spaces. So it's super important that you act immediately and lock your spot in now. I believe in the Life Accelerator so much that I am offering a full 100% 60-day money-back guarantee if you complete all of the coursework and attend all of the live calls over the 6-week period. After that, if for any reason you're not totally satisfied, then I will give you a full refund. And finally, if you're here watching me right now in front of your computer, you're probably one of those people who wants to build the best version of themselves. You're tired of coming up short in life, time and time again, and you want to figure out how to win. You're sick of toxic relationships, unhealthy eating habits, and bad energy infecting your life. And you no longer want to let procrastination and self-doubt stop you from becoming a high-performance person. I know what that's like because I've been there before. And I know our Life Accelerator can help you solve this huge problem. I would love to personally mentor you. I would love to see you on these live calls. And I would love to celebrate with you here in the studio at the end of the course. I can't wait to witness your new energy, your new body, and your new winning perspective and outlook on life. Most of all, I can't wait to watch you come alive, to see you reclaim that light that once burned so bright. For most people, this happens around week 3 because they see they can do this. That's when you feel that new sense of power and control over your life. You feel that fire and you know you can keep it burning. The people around see that spark too. They feel lit up being around you, inspired to take control of their own lives and become the best versions of themselves. You'll make the world a better place simply by being more you. And finally, let your true self shine through. So join us and change your life. Click the button, lock in your spot, and I'll see you on the inside.